you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727, or online at adreamlending.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com.
Sorry about that. I don't know, but the open got messed up there. Good morning. Hope you all are doing well. Let's try this again, all right? Let's do this again.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Oh, we got it. There we go. Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll on a Monday that, boy, there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about here today, man. We got a lot of things to talk about. Some things that I guess would have some folks out there a little pissed off at. But overall, we're blessed to have a Monday, folks. That's all I can tell you after a tough weekend, I would say. If you're a Canes fan, a good weekend. If you're an Inter-Miami CF supporter, because that was one hell of a win, by the way. Not a great team against Cincinnati, but man, Breck Shea, that was nice. He should have had 2 goals in that game. But anyway, so a lot of things to talk about, a lot of college football over the weekend. It's our last weekend without professional football. We've got the Dolphins coming up on Sunday. We're going to be at Sports Grill in Miami Lakes, broadcasting live out there. It's a 4:30 game. We will be on 2 hours before that and 2 hours on after it, breaking it down for you. We've got Dolphin news as Austin Jackson and Adam Shaheen have been placed on the COVID list. I will get into that because I've got plenty to talk about with that. I've got some issues there with all of that. Obviously, we've got to talk a little bit about the Canes and Alabama. Now, listen, I'm not going to sit here this morning and act like I'm pissed off and I'm surprised or shocked. That's not me. I told you guys this was going to be a slaughter. And that's exactly what it was. It was a slaughter. And listen, what it shows you is that under Manny Diaz, the UM program has made zero progress. That's what it tells you right from the get-go. They've done nothing to close the gap against the elite and where they're at now. And listen, where they are now is they're a mid-major is what they are. That's the reality of the University of Miami football program. And you have to really think about this. You got to think hard about this. Will Miami ever be elite again? I mean, where are you going to convince yourselves that Miami is ever going to be elite, especially with Manny Diaz? There's been no progress, nothing. And you know what loser talk is? App State next. I mean, think about that, dude. That's how low the bar is with the University of Miami now. Well, now let's measure the team against the rest of the crap that's in the ACC. And let's see how they do against the crap of the ACC. But it's the University of Miami, right? It's what Howard Schnellenberger established. It's what Jimmy Johnson continued and Dennis Erickson and so on and so forth. And all these coaches ended up winning national championships. All these coaches were looking forward to facing Alabama and Nebraska and Oklahoma, Notre Dame, you name it. It was always, you were looking forward to bringing them down. You are looking forward to that moment and that stage where you can prove to people that you belonged with the elite. And that's really what it's all about. So you have to ask yourself, how can you get back to being elite? And this is why a buddy of mine called me on Friday night. He goes, how badly are we going to lose? I go 30. Because I thought for sure it'd be at least a 30-point loss. And sure enough, what was the score? 44-13. They lost by 31. I mean, how could you even come into this game thinking that they are going to be competitive or even win? I mean, seriously, dude, you have to be doing some serious drugs to actually pick the Canes to win. Because as I told you leading up to this game, show me the proof where Manny Diaz has proven to you that he's actually an elite head coach. The guy did a hell of a job as a defensive coordinator. But as a head coach, it's a whole different ball game to get an entire team ready, to recruit the talent that you need. And I love when people say, well, you just need the players. Yeah, no, not really. It's not just the players. Because there are schools that get the players, and yet they go nowhere. It's not like Texas still doesn't get good players. And I know Georgia's really competitive in the SEC, but they never end up winning a national title. They always end up choking, no matter how many All-Americans they have on it. Because you still have to have the right coach to get everything done, to get your kids prepared, to get your kids to the point where they can believe they can win these kind of games. They're convinced they can win these kind of games. You can tell me whatever you're recruiting. I know you're not recruiting dogs. I don't see enough of them out on the field with the University of Miami. And after all the shit talk about the University of Miami offensive line, they did nothing. All that experience, and they did nothing. How many times is Manny Diaz going to have 19 of 22 returning starters? How many times is he going to have an experienced quarterback like De'Aaron King at this point in time? Which, by the way, I thought the kid was injured early. When he kind of went to that tent, I said, oh my God, is this kid injured already? Because he was taking hits left and right. And with all that experience on the line, they couldn't do jack shit. Manny Diaz is a joke, is what he is. And listen, I haven't started to read the chat board. Don't start with the fire Manny stuff. They're not firing Manny. So stop with the stupidity already. Stop with the ridiculousness. Stay in reality with me. And that's the problem with some of you out there. Damn, I should have trimmed my mustache because this thing keeps bothering me. Anyway, Manny has no shot at being fired. Blake James is not going to put himself on the hot seat by putting Manny on the hot seat. This is his hire. This is the only hire that Blake James has made. Blake has had no reason to be on the hot seat ever since he took this job because he hasn't had to hire anybody. He didn't hire Larinaga. He didn't hire Katie Meyer. He didn't hire any of the people that are there, baseball, basketball, whatever. Those aren't his hires. All those things were in place or planned like baseball was. This was his hire. And he also had the university trade $4 million to Temple in order to get Manny. So if Manny has 2 more years left on his contract, I don't see the University of Miami football program or the University of Miami administration paying off those 2 years that are left and then going out and purchasing another coaching staff. Because it's not just your head coach. You got to buy a quality offensive coordinator, a quality defensive coordinator. That's the way it goes in college football. Did you watch the Alabama sidelines? They've got NFL head coaches hanging out there helping out Saban. So how is Miami going to get there? I get it. Look, man, Manny doesn't deserve to have his job. I said that last year. But I knew they weren't going to fire him. So it's year 3. You got all this experience. You got an opportunity to prove to people. And here's the problem that I have now with the new wave of University of Miami fans and the thinking that goes on now. Whoa, now let's see what happens with the rest of the schedule. I don't give a shit about the rest of the schedule. They're not going to win all those games anyway. You know, those next 4 games, App State, Michigan State, Central Connecticut, and University of Virginia, before you play UNC. Would you be surprised if they lose one of those? Of course not. But in the end, let's just say you can win the Coastal. What does that say about this program? Nothing. The Coastal's garbage. You're not going to beat Clemson. By that time, Ukulele and the boys will be in a groove. They barely lost against Georgia because they lost against Georgia because of that pick 6. I mean, they're not going to beat Clemson. Isn't that with the idea to get to Clemson? You're not at Clemson's level even on a transition year. You're not at Clemson's level. And yet you didn't have much transition. That's the thing about this University of Miami football program. You didn't have a lot of transition. You had most of your guys come back. You had continuity up the yin-yang, dude. And this is how you look against Alabama? I was hoping that I would be wrong. I was hoping that the University of Miami would be extremely competitive, maybe even shock the world and win. That way I can, take over on Monday morning and I can have all the people ripping me. See, oh, you're just a hater. You're not objective. You just want to say that the University of Miami football team sucks. Yeah, because that's what I want to do. I just love all my local teams, and I just want to say that they suck. No, of course not. Yeah, that's my agenda the entire time. I mean, listen, this is not where you're not going to get this at 560 and 790 where they got to suck their ass, where they got to broadcast nervously about what they say. Something I never did while I was there, and I'm not doing here. I mean, it's embarrassing. And you really have to think about this from now on. Will the University of Miami program ever get back there? I don't believe it right now anymore. I don't believe they'll ever be elite again. I don't believe they'll ever challenge for another national championship again. As long as you have this kind of a program, you got no shot. If you're not willing to go find an elite coach and an elite coaching staff, and if you're not willing to spend the way Ohio State's going to spend, the way Florida State is going to spend eventually, the way Alabama's going to spend, the way Michigan's going to spend, the way Ohio State and all these top teams, Clemson, if you're not willing to spend, you will go nowhere. And if you keep getting these half-ass coaches like Manny Diaz, like Al Golden, like Randy Shannon, you're going nowhere, dude. Nowhere. Manny Navarro will join us tomorrow on the show, and he has told us several times that what the University of Miami football program has to do is hire an experienced coach that has already built programs, and he's right. You got to stop getting the guy that's unproven and has to – those days of finding, under-the-radar Jimmy Johnson at Oklahoma State, and even Dennis Erickson was a good X's and O's coach. Dennis, where he sucked was as a custodian. He could not maintain the recruiting level, the discipline, and all those things. But if you gave him the players, he had the X's and O's to win. That's why he won with Jimmy's players early on. And then once his players took over, it was disaster after that because Dennis Erickson wasn't a complete coach. He was a good X's and O's guy. I think Larry Coker was the same thing. I think Larry Coker was a very good X's and O's guy, but not a custodian. That's the magic of being a great head coach in college football. Yeah, you've got to be a great coach. Yes. You've got to be a great recruiter and developer. Yes. And you've got to be an incredible custodian of the program, that you maintain a high level. It's not an easy thing. That's why schools have fallen by the wayside and they can't find their way back. Tennessee can't find their way back. USC hasn't been able to find their way back. So Miami is not the only school that's in that position. And they're not as big as those schools. They don't even have the history of USC. So this is a major problem right now for the University of Miami. And for us as fans, we may have to come to the realization that they will never be elite again. There's zero proof. That's why when I hear people leading up over the last couple of months, see, the worst thing that there is time on your hands. Do you know why? You had an entire offseason, and throughout that offseason, somehow or another, people convinced themselves that Manny Diaz was a good coach. And somehow or another, some people actually convinced themselves that the University of Miami football team has some kind of upper echelon talent or something. And somehow or another, during the offseason, people repeated it enough to themselves that they actually thought they could actually beat Alabama. And it's like, where was your proof? And the problem is time. You had so much time in the offseason, you were ridiculous enough to convince yourselves that the University of Miami football team could actually win a game like this. Do you know, that's the problem with 24-hour news cycles, that this is why all this kind of crap gets reported and thrown up against the wall constantly, and 89% of it is wrong. 89% of it is inaccurate. And why? Because you've got producers and editors and PDs and all that, and they are stressing to create content. And then you had a fan base that actually was, I mean, what else is there to say about this fan base that actually thought they were going to win?
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
I mean, seriously, dude. I mean, come on. You had that much time on your hands that you somehow convinced yourselves that Manny Diaz is some kind of a great coach. Do you realize they were playing Nick Saban? I just wonder about that. I mean, how could you be that naive? Now, it happens to fans. It happens to media members. And you know what? Sometimes even former Canes actually do really stupid things. And they say really stupid things out there.
To shock the world. Shock the world.
Something like that UCLA game. You remember? Yo, what's up? This is Ed. I'm over here with the big homie HOL, the playmaker, and the Ed. Like you ain't into it. HOL too. Yo, I'm a newbie. This is the real original. And we come here to represent our Kings, man.
We are about to shock the world. Shock the world.
Something like that UCLA game. You remember? Yo, what's up? This is Ed. I'm over here with the big homie HOL, the playmaker, and the Ed. Like you ain't into it. HOL too. Yo, I'm a newbie. This is the real original. And we come here to represent our Kings, man.
We are about to shock the world. Shock the world.
Something like that UCLA game. You remember? Yo, what's up? This is the Edge. I'm over here with the big homie HOL, the playmaker.
Just even former players. Now let me ask you, Mike Harley remind you of Mike Irvin? Cameron Harris remind you of Edgerrin James? You know what? You can tell me all the shit you want about Nestor Silvera. He's not Russell Maryland. He's not Warren Sapp. He's not Jerome Brown. He's not Calais Campbell. You get my drift? Are you speaking my effing language? Are you? And that's the problem with Michael. And Michael's Irving at this point is like a caricature of himself, is what he is. He comes on his shows and just says clown crap about the Cowboys every year and now about the Canes. Not that there's any substance. He's just a cheerleader at this point, is what he is. That's all he is. There's no substance to it. It's just for show. It's just, but taking those comments. You see any of those players on the field look like those guys? I get it. You young people out there, you have no idea what I'm talking about because you never saw Jerome Brown. You never saw Russell Maryland. You never saw anybody like that. I get that. You know, if you're watching Canes football from the last 15 years and you're 25 years old, you have no idea what I'm talking about. And that's the problem. The young people now, they're the ones that are kind of, well, you know, let's see what they do against the rest of the schedule. The rest of the schedule's garbage. What I care what you do against App State, Central Connecticut. Oh, kiss my ass, dude. What, Virginia's got to be a see, that's the problem. Virginia's competition for you. That's the problem. North Carolina's competition and even better than you. That's the problem. I mean, think about that. Think about the Edge and think about Michael Irvin and think about Warren Sapp and think about all these other great Canes in the past. And, oh, well, yeah, hey, you got a tough game coming up against Virginia. They would have laughed your ass out of there. Those guys knew they were going to crush whatever it was, big teams. Oklahoma and Penn State and Michigan and whatever they played. Oh, we got to go to the big house? No problem. We're going to steal their lunch in the big house. Oh, we got to go to Doak Campbell? Not a problem. This is, you know, it's just, I was wondering if the Canes football Twitter feed was going to take that down after the game. Vince Wilfork, people are talking about. Yeah, exactly. Where's Nestor Silvera? Might be a good player, but he's none of those guys, dude. I don't care what you tell me. And that's the issue now. You're talking up these guys like they are the guys that are in watching on Alabama's side, and they're not. They're not. And they're not coached up to be great either. You could tell by that quarterback sneak with De'Aaron King on fourth down. What the hell was that call? How does Rhett Lashley call that play? I mean, out of the two coaches, Rhett Lashley was the one guy that I was kind of, okay. But, I mean, he didn't have a great game either. I lost my mind on that call. Like, how did you not roll that kid out and give him an option to throw and run? You ran him up the middle with a line that can't push the other side of the field? So there's constant penetration and domination by Alabama. Let's run up the middle. What the hell are you doing? And that's the problem right now for the University of Miami program. And this is what you have to think of now. Will they ever get back to that point? And right now, I have to tell you, and I get it, some of you out there, you're a bunch of emotional cripples, and you can't, and like the guy from last week when I was saying that the U was going to get blown out. By the way, where is the guy from last week? Because I don't even know his name. But that's typical, you know what I mean? People will say their predictions, they'll say this or that, and then when the opposite happens, they completely disappear, and I never hear from them. But, sir, if you're watching, you're more than welcome to come on the chat board and apologize for your behavior last week because you were an emotional cripple and you couldn't handle the fact that I told you the U was going to get absolutely dogged by Alabama. And in the end, why would you think anything different when Manny Diaz is your head coach? You know what I'm saying? Why would you think any different when Manny Diaz is your head coach? What has Manny Diaz proven to you? That's the real, the people that thought they were going to be competitive or even win. I'm sorry. What did Manny Diaz do over the offseason? It seems like every offseason he has like this watch and he swings it in front of the UM fans all offseason, hypnotizing them because, oh, yeah, he's got the elixir. He did everything right in the offseason. All of a sudden now this is going to make him a great head coach. And he says that you don't write the story of a team after one game. To a certain extent, that's true. But in his case, this one game was an indictment that in 3 years, they have made zero progress to get to elite levels. They are still a mediocre to average program. They are what they used to be before Howard Schnellenberger took over. They're a mid-major. Their peak would be the Peach Bowl. That kind of stuff. Back when I was a kid watching the University of Miami, going to an empty Orange Bowl in the late 70s, going to see Joe Montana against the University of Miami with like 10,000 people in the stands. Anybody was there at that game? Remember that game? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Back in those days, that's what the University of Miami football program is. It's a mid-major. It's not an upper echelon team. It's not an upper echelon program. It's not even close. And they proved it again on Saturday night. And the biggest question you have to ask yourself is, will they ever get there? And there is zero proof. And I think now that we're heading into almost 20 years of asking this question, I think we have to get to the realization that the great days of the University of Miami football program, it's over. It's over. And until you make the proper changes, maybe you can have that kind of hope. But it's not Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz is not the guy that I expect to outwit, outcoach, out-recruit, out-everything Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney and Ryan up in Ohio State. And sorry, I don't see it happening. And if any of you think that Manny Diaz looks to you like an elite head coach, then I can't help you, man. I can't help you. All right, Dolphins have got some trouble already going into week 1 of the NFL season. We are waiting some results from some folks out there, but obviously things are not good as Austin Jackson and Adam Shaheen, the anti-vaxxer, have been put on the COVID-19 list. We're going to talk to Omar Kelly and the EJD Construction.com Miami Dolphins report. We do that next. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843. For EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
All right. Good morning, O. How you doing, my brother? You doing all right?
Good morning. This is Labor Day. Daycares are closed, so we have a guest star here.
Nice.
Participating in the show.
There we go. There, we actually got a real reporter on today instead of you. All right, I like it. I like it. She's gonna give us a real scoop now.
Yeah.
There we go. And by the way, we'd be remiss, Omar, if we didn't say Friday night we had a really good night out with Eric at EJD Construction. We went over to his house and the man cooked up a storm with some steaks and chicken and some peppers and all kinds of stuff, man. Potato, everything. It was a good meal, man.
I was getting some grilling lessons, and
yes.
It shall help me take my grilling to the next level.
Well, I can learn certainly from both of you. I certainly need help in that area. But Eric, my brother, you knocked it out of the park. Great stuff. That meat was just like melting in your mouth, dude. It was just excellent steaks. So we appreciate it immensely. I got no gout attack out of it too, which is good. Which is really, really.
And I got those pills. I'll let you know. I have Eric.
Oh, I ordered them too.
Some gout
I get
pills.
them today.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. I ordered it from Amazon. I get them today in the mail. So yeah,
it's funny that both of us gout runs in our family, hereditary. It is what it is, man. That's what part of getting old.
Yeah. No, tell me about it. I've had it for a while, having to deal with this damn gout. Before I get into the Dolphins, your thoughts on the U and what you saw, because I'm sure you watched some of that mess on Saturday night.
Unfortunately, I covered the last respectable Hurricanes team when people were running Larry Coker out of town for back-to-back Peach Bowl appearances. I say this all the time. They have not reached the level of getting back to the Peach Bowl. And unfortunately, they don't look – they have no resemblance to the Canes team that I once covered. None.
Right.
Zero.
Or even before that. Or even before the last those 20 years. From 80s to the early 2000s, nothing.
I didn't see those teams, but I have to think that they would struggle with UCF, USF, FAU, FIU at this point on a regular basis.
Yeah, all these games coming up, App State, Michigan State, they're going to be tough games for them, and that's a joke.
Let's hope they starting the season with Alabama would have been a Herculean feat for anybody in college football. It would have been a Herculean feat for Clemson. So let's put that in perspective. Let's hope that they get out of the hangovers that they have after losses and put together a respectable season. As I've said for years now, Peach Bowl is my goal. Let's get to the Peach Bowl and hopefully, baby steps and we'll get to respectability. But it was a sad, disappointing, tragic outcome. Yeah, you thought so too, huh?
It seems like it's the same story every year. My issue with them now is I don't believe they'll ever be elite again. Not with the kind of leadership they have now.
They can get back there, but the things that I've seen, while they've made tremendous strides in resources and facility, I could tell you that when the Canes were great, their position coaches were great and dynamic and would coach up players and get them better from when they were freshmen to they were seniors. That's when the Canes were great. And I don't think that they have that kind of caliber of staff anymore. I don't think they're putting the resources towards that. And maybe if they did, maybe we'd be a little bit further along as a program. I don't have a strong or good opinion of Manny Diaz. We'll see. But so far, not for me. But the thing is, I don't believe that anybody who replaced him, except for some, I'm a big believer in this team needs a former pro coach to come and teach him and coach them up the way that Herm Edwards is doing Arizona State. That's what I believe. And I don't think any college coach is going to really make that kind of difference.
Well, I agree with Manny. I agree with Manny. I think you got to hire a coach that's already rebuilt college programs, like an experienced guy. I think that's a really hard combo to find, that the dude's like available out there. And hey, I'm successful. Like Urban Liar was available. Now, you could have hired Urban Liar, but obviously there's a lot of garbage that comes with Urban Liar, so Jacksonville hired him. But what I'm saying is you've got to find somebody that is like Urban but doesn't lie like Urban.
Urban would have wanted first-class resources and facilities. He would have never came there.
Yeah, and by the way, and as for facilities, you've been to the Senior Bowl the last 2 years, correct?
Correct,
One
yes.
and two, right? Yeah. Why don't you tell them that South Alabama has a pretty nice indoor facility, and it's South Alabama. I'm just saying, for people to brag about the facilities, just go to South Alabama.
You're just with the facilities. You're just getting to baseline. What your facilities are is what FSU and UF had 10 years ago. So, but keep in mind, when I covered that team, they didn't even have a training table.
I know. Yeah.
So, and facilities. When they were winning championships, they didn't have any practice or indoor facility or great weight room. So listen, that's not what you need. What you need is great coaches, and you need
and great dogs and dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs. You can tell me all you want about Nestor Silvera. He ain't Warren Sapp, dude. Okay, he's not. Any of those kind of cats that we've had here in the past, Jerome Brown and all that kind of stuff, Vince Wilfork, he might be a good player, but he's not one of those kind of guys.
College football has changed so drastically, and people don't understand that, and it's negatively impacted everybody except for Alabama, because it's even impacted the Oklahomas and the Nebraskas and all of these former college powers. But bottom line is it comes down to player development.
What you just talked about. Look, Oklahoma is still a power, and why? Because of a dynamic coach.
Yeah, but they took a dip as well. Everybody has had to adjust and alter because of the new college football landscape. Listen, a kid can go to Buffalo and still get into the first round in the NFL right now. So. It doesn't matter where you play or where you start. Yes, it doesn't matter where you play or where you go, or you don't sit for years and wait for the development of players. You got to go in there and you got to do it right now. You got to get them this young, and you got to put them in and coach them up and have them get better. And that to me is what's missing.
Okay, I'm hearing some of those yells. I think she's got potential to be a heavy metal singer. I don't know. I'm just. I'm just hearing those screams. I'm going, man, she's got metal potential there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with. Go ahead.
She likes to sing.
Okay, good. All right, let's see. We got to get her singing then. We got some news with the Dolphins. Austin Jackson and the anti-vaxxer Adam Shaheen. He wasted no time, baby. He's already. And here's the interesting part about all of this, which sucks. Shaheem is definitely out for the game.
Yeah, he was out for the game with whatever injury he had, unless he returned to practice this week. So that's not a surprise. I don't think he was going to play.
No, but what I'm saying, forget the injury. He's out already with COVID. Even if he had no injury and he's ready to go, he's done because he's an anti-vaxxer. He will have to miss now 10 days. The question is, Austin Jackson. Hold on a second.
We don't know if he's caught COVID or if he's in the protocol. Remember, the non-vaccine players, it's easier for them to have had exposure to people who have the vaccine, like Austin Jackson. Let's say Austin Jackson has COVID, and because Adam Shaheen had exposure to him, now Adam Shaheen has to test negative. I think it's 5 straight days.
No, wait a minute. Hold on a second. No. Unvaccinated players miss 10 days automatically. They're done. Unvaccinated. Vaccinated players, and this is what we're going to find out about Austin Jackson now. No, we don't know if he's vaccinated or unvaccinated because I guess the players didn't tell us. Did you follow up on the wristbands, and do you know who's unvaccinated and vaccinated and all that stuff?
It's no.
Okay, so this is how it goes with Austin Jackson. If he's unvaccinated, he's not playing on Sunday. He's already out. But if he's vaccinated, he has to show negative tests in 24 hours apart and back to back. If he does that, he gets put in right away.
It's 5 days for unvaccinated players. They have to show 5 negative tests to be back. So
I just read where it's unvaccinated will miss 10 days and vaccinated players need a negative test 24 hours apart. Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Contact. No, if they caught the virus, they're definitely done, Omar. The thing is, we don't know if he is just on COVID because he was close to Adam Shaheen and he had contact to him, or Adam Shaheen had contact to somebody else, that had COVID. But one thing's for sure, Shaheen will not be there on Sunday.
He wasn't going to be there on Sunday anyway. Yeah. He wasn't going to be there on Sunday, vaccine or non-vaccine. He's battling an injury. He hadn't practiced last week. I highly doubt it. He suffered an injury somehow. And it's pretty disappointing because he had established himself as a second tight end. He had surpassed Durham Smythe. So he really had a strong camp. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from that standpoint. But the Austin Jackson one is even bigger than Adam Shaheen. We're talking about a second tight end.
But hold on a second. But the part that we'll never find out probably is, did Adam Shaheen get Austin Jackson in trouble? Was Austin Jackson around the anti-vaxxer, and did the anti-vaxxer get COVID and then expose Jackson?
I hate the fact that people blame everything on the vaccine. The last time there were 5 guys that were out suspended, Adam Shaheen, which was one of them, was the one who did not have COVID. So it's the bar is higher for the anti-vaxxer to get back on the field. He has a right to make any decision that he wants to make his health, his life, just like everybody else in society. I hate that fact that every time somebody goes on suspension and he's involved, he gets blamed for it. I don't like that. I think that's unhealthy. I think that's unhealthy for everybody in the league. But yes,
but Omar, the facts are, if you're unvaccinated in life or in football, you are putting more people at risk, not just yourself. Because you have a bigger chance of catching the virus than a person that's vaccinated. A person that's vaccinated has a chance of fighting off the virus. And even if they get it, at least they won't get hospitalized or die, which I'm sure the NFL said, let's get all of our players vaccinated because we certainly don't want an NFL player dying. And I think that's the one thing that it has really hasn't really put the kibosh on the athletes yet, because they have that invincibility factor to them. And luckily we haven't lost an athlete, but if the day you lose a professional athlete, that is going to have an incredible effect on everybody in every sport.
The way that it was put to me, and I'm glad I have this opportunity. Somebody passed it on to me because they heard it. Getting the vaccine is just in the equivalent of, you're going to get bit by a snake. Do you want the snake with venom, or do you want the snake without the venom?
Exactly.
Because you're probably going to catch COVID in this Delta variant and whatever variant is coming next. The question is, do you want to have the antibodies to fight it off to prevent yourself from getting sick? And I fortunately have not had COVID yet, or at least I don't think I have. There have been a couple of instances where I swear to God, I thought I had it. And luckily I get tested now every week by the NFL, and it wasn't COVID. But literally, I would never want to know what that was like. The reason I was not pro-vaccine until the doctors told my wife, we had just had the baby, and the doctor said, you want to help your daughter? Get the vaccine so the antibodies can go into her breast milk and you can pass it on to your daughter. And for the husband, go get the vaccine so that the likelihood that you bring something home that could compromise your child and make your child deathly sick is not high. For me, done deal. And everybody should look at it from that standpoint. I have my parents in their 70s. My father literally had to retire from running his own electrical shop because he didn't want to die. He told me last week, counting it up, 5 relatives have died from COVID within the last year. 5. All his peers his age.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, cousins. And I'm thinking to myself, like, protect the loved ones that are the most at harm, at risk.
Okay. Not only that, let's just protect each other. Let's protect the human race, dude. Let's get the damn vaccine so we can kill this virus off, dude. The more we let it live, the more it can also turn into other variants.
Other variants, exactly.
Yeah, which is going to be crazy, man.
I don't believe it's going to go anywhere. I think we're going to be taking COVID vaccines the way we take flu vaccines. I mean, my daughter just got vaccinated last week. She took 4 vaccines. They don't even tell you what they're for anymore. It was a bitch for her to deal with, but she took 4 vaccines all at one time. And this is the second round of vaccines. So she took 4 a couple of months ago. So literally for a child, 8 vaccines. Now we just add a 9th to it. It is what it is, man. This is going to be here. It's going to be around. It's not going anywhere.
It took decades for polio to get obliterated, and that was with a vaccine. And that's because, well, and they don't have the resources in those days like we have now. So it's still going to take us some time because remember, we don't have the majority of the world vaccinated. The majority of the world isn't vaccinated. And there's lots of countries that just don't have any of the resources. And that's why other countries like ours are helping those kind of countries get vaccinated, because the more we get the world vaccinated, the more we can actually kill this stupid thing off, and it'll stop killing us, which would be a beautiful thing if we can eliminate this. All right. So is it Greg Little automatically at left tackle if Austin Jackson can't go?
Depends on how Adam Shaheen is an option, but he hasn't practiced. He's got an injury. Depends on how I'm sure he's going to get tried there. Depends on how well he looks practicing at left tackle. He played it all at Notre Dame. Then you've got Jesse Davis, who everybody knows. You know, put some respect on Jesse Davis's name. Jesse Davis has played left tackle for you. He wasn't a problem.
Yeah, but Tua's blind side is that side. You're not going to move Jesse. Not in this. Not with this quarterback. I would imagine Jesse stays there because that's his blind side.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But you have guys who can play right tackle. I don't know if you necessarily have guys who can play left tackle. Left tackle, you're facing everybody's best pass rusher. I personally would not move Jesse Davis. But
it doesn't make sense right now. That's the blind side of Tua. I would put either, whether it's Little or who's the other guy that I'm missing? There's one more guy.
Liam Eichenberg. That's it.
Liam Eichenberg. And then you got to park Smythe right next to him, dude. And that's it. I'm sorry. You're going to have to put like a 6-man line or something.
Do I want a rookie or my veteran protecting? I mean, it's the Patriots, so they're going to attack whatever your weakest link is. If you put Liam Eichenberg on the field, they're going to come after him all game. So it could be very Greg Little. That's the one thing I love about playing the Patriots. You get a real good, thorough understanding about what your weakest areas are of your team, because they're going to attack them all game.
Yeah, they're going to attack them. There's no doubt about that. I would imagine also the Dolphins are going to do a job on trying to attack Mac Jones too, on the flip side. While we talk about everything that the Patriots are going to try to expose, I think the Dolphins are also going to try to, hurry the young man up, get him uncomfortable. He's not necessarily Mr. Nimble back there. He's got some athleticism, but he's not necessarily, he's not Tom Brady statuesque.
Yeah.
But he can move around a little bit. But still, I think you want to get him out of that comfort zone a little bit. So I would imagine that what does Miami have to do to make things uncomfortable for Mac Jones?
Vary the looks. Give them that exotic blitz package, the amoeba or whatever that people call it. I don't even know if the team calls it that. I would love to see them get pressure with just 4, but we all know that that's not the reality of this defense. So it'll be interesting to see what approach that they take. Obviously, you're going to have the Byron and Xavier covering whatever is the best of the secondary out there, whatever the best of wide receivers that are out there. But my question is, who defends the slot receiver, even though we don't know what the new look Patriots look like? The tight ends, we got Eric Rowe on these two. Actually, one suffered an injury. The FIU Jonnu Smith. So yes. It's going to be interesting. I don't think people put respect on Eric Rowe as much as they should. He's had a strong camp. He's had a phenomenal season last year. with the exceptions of Travis Kelce and the guy from Las Vegas. So it's going to be interesting to see how Dolphins approach this.
Yeah, most guys can't cover the kid from Vegas, anyways.
Yeah.
Although I'll give him credit, man. When Roe was covering the Atlanta kid, the Florida.
Oh yeah,
Florida, he put him in a shell, dude. That was solid on Roe's part there. Receiving core. What can we expect this week? How healthy will it be, do you think?
As healthy as it's probably going to be all season, which is probably everybody's going to be at 75, 80%. But that's just the reality of where they are as a unit.
Are you expecting any of them to miss?
Huh?
Are you expecting any receivers to miss the
No,
game, or is everybody going to be eligible?
I think they're going to play. Clearly, you're not going to have Will Fuller. That's a suspension. But I think they're all going to play. Whether they're all 100%, I don't know. I probably doubt it. But the Dolphins have taken a very precautious approach to get them to the point where they're ready for game day for September 12th. So I would expect most of them to be on the field. Waddle is definitely playing. He's healthy. Albert Wilson is practicing this week. We'll see if he gets cleared. Devontae Parker has been nursing it. I'm sorry, but you've been nursing it for 5 weeks. It's time to go. 5 weeks should heal just about everything except for a knee scope, correct?
Yes.
So your hamstring should be healed. Like 5 weeks.
Mac Jones and Tua. I talked about this last week. If Mac Jones wins this game, you know what happens, right? You know what happens now, right? Because all the Herbert stuff, then it's going to be, oh, well, wait a minute. We got the wrong Alabama quarterback now. You know that's going to happen.
It's going to happen, but I don't think it's predicated on – it's going to happen. But I'm not making any knee-jerk reactions.
I'm just telling you what's going to end up happening.
I'm fine with whatever people say. Ask me about Tua in 2023, if he's still here as the Dolphins quarterback. Ask me about him in 2023. That's when I expect him to be an elite quarterback. When he's seen everything everybody could throw at him, when he's proven that he's healthy, when his body's in tip-top shape, when his arm is strong. When he's got comfort in this offense. So I don't really worry about week 1 Mac Jones battles. Great storyline. Might get the nation interested in the story. But you know what? This is the Patriots against the Dolphins. And I promise you, the defense will have more to do with Miami's win or loss than Mac Jones and Tua.
By the way, everybody's not everybody. A couple people saying that the child's too beautiful to be yours. But they haven't seen your wife. That's the thing. Which I by the way, I met his wife on Friday night. Omar outkicked his coverage.
Way outkicked my coverage. Yes.
Way. I mean, like way out there. I just want you to know. Okay?
But I have proof. This is me as a baby. Hold on. This is me as a baby. At her age, and look at this child. This is me right here. It's like a second coming of me. So she looks just like me. My wife, it bothers my wife. I hear about it every day. Like, I carried her for 9 months. Why does she look just like you? And and my theory is because she'll look like you when she's older, and thank God for that.
Yes, there you go. There you go. And bad luck for you, by the way, because you're the one that's going to have to walk around with a shotgun. So,
I'll be all right. She's going to be a smart, strong,
bad news for you.
Independent woman.
All right. Oh, have a great day, my brother. Enjoy your Labor Day. And football is here, my brother, finally. So we get to cover it.
Now we got 18 weeks of this?
Yes, sir. Well, about 20 when you include the playoffs, because
okay, you're including the playoffs. Okay, all right.
Damn right. Dolphins are going to the playoffs, bro. Come on, that's just automatic. Money in the bank, playoffs.
Automatic twice in the last two decades. Automatic.
Automatic. Yeah, but these guys weren't running it in the last 2 decades. I have faith in Greer and Porter. Let's see. All right. Studley, as always. Thank you, my brother. There you go. The great Omar Kelly. We love Omar Kelly and the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
All right, we back here. Couple minutes left in hour number 1 of the program. Appreciate all of you out there. By the way, Hawaiian Punch was first on the chat board there. Strong. Chat board's been really active, by the way. So thank you all. Hawaiian Punch beat out Steve Chapman. That was strong. I forgot to mention King Zulu. Thank you, sir. You sent in a little love on the super chat. He says, hate to say it, but FSU looks better than UM right now. That's coming from a UM fan. King Zulu, you are correct, sir. They do. Melvin McConnell also came in a little super chat. He says, Bryce Young is Saban's highest rated player ever. Well, if you listen to the show, did I not read you an article about Saban praising the crap out of that kid? Right? He was talking about how Bryce is, knows the offense, as he's incredibly intelligent, this and that. Man, that kid was money, dude. He was a smooth and calm and cool customer. No pressure. That kid found a way to make plays one way or another, man. What else do we have here? Parker's hamstring is on the mend since we drafted him. With ever fluid or food he's drinking, he's a pro. He needs to stop. Drink more fluids. Well, you don't know what he's doing. Drago, maybe he's just an injury-prone player. That's it. Mike Banas says, Big O, what gout pills did you order? I'm having an attack now. Okay. All right. You know what? I might as well help you out here, dude. I have a picture of it, because I had to take a picture of it. It's called Go Out. Here you go, dude. And Eric from EJD Construction's been taking them, and it's all natural. So it doesn't, instead of the drugs that we normally take, there you go. Go Out. It's called. There's the bottle right there. Go Out. Okay. And I also ordered something else too. On it. I ordered something else for that it got great reviews from the people that were, that bought it on Amazon. And let me run this by you, because just so you'll know, I ordered it. I don't know if this one works. The other one, Eric takes it, so he swears by it. And so that's I'd rather take I definitely trust Eric. That's for damn sure. Hold on a second. Let me get this for you right here. Because supposedly I'm going to, here we go. It's called Medicine Man Plant Company, and it's a uric acid pill. It cleanses, repairs, soothes. It's all, here you go. That's the other one the uric acid pill. So for those of us that suffer from gout, apparently this thing is awesome. Okay? There you go. So those are the two things I got in Amazon for my gout, because I take prednisone and all that stuff and coltrazine. So whenever I get an attack, I take those things. I don't want to. I've never gotten to the point where I take what's the name of that other one that it's an everyday pill, but I don't want to do that stuff. God, I forgot the name of the everyday pill that you can take for gout, and that controls your uric acid. I take enough drugs every day for my heart and all that other crap that I take that I don't want to keep adding more to it, man. And so that's why if I can find this option, which this is all, cherry extract, burdock root, celery seed, all kinds of natural things. And the cherry extract obviously has been known for something that helps us gout people, because that helps kill off the uric acid and control it, which is a key. But the Go Out, he swears by it. He takes it when he gets an attack. You can also take it on a prevention basis. You could go out and get it at a health food store, by the way, sir, if you want. If you're having an attack, I suggest you go out and get it right now. Just call ahead of time any of these kind of health places, and if they have it, then you can go get it. I ordered it from Amazon. I'm not having an attack right now, so I can wait the 2 days for Prime. So I ordered it on Friday night, and I'm getting it now on Monday. So I cannot wait, just in case if I ever get an attack, which I'm going to get an attack for sure. I mean, it's automatic. It's going to happen eventually. What I can't do is, like, I can't drink too much beer. I can drink some beer and enjoy myself. I can drink a little wine. I can enjoy myself, but I can't. Not that I drink every day anyways. I've never been that person anyway. And I only drink every once in a blue moon, so that really doesn't affect me. It's meat that affects me the most, because I love eating steak, man. But I cannot eat it 3 times a week. Maybe once, and I'm all right. If I do it twice, I'm kind of risking it in a week. If I do it 3 times, for sure, I'm going to get a gout attack. Guaranteed. Can't eat it that much. And shellfish is the other one. Again, if I have it once, maybe twice, I'm all right. But if I eat shellfish 3 times in a week, gout attack for sure. So there you go. Big O, I also take prednisone long-term. It really messes with your bone density. Well, that's why I wanted to try to see if I can find something natural. And Eric told me about this on Friday night. And I was like, are you kidding me? And Omar and I were like, our eyes lit up like, holy crap, really? That works? I didn't even know Omar had gout too. Gout's a bitch, dude. God. Gout is basically crystallizing your blood in your joints. And then as you move your joints, it's just stabbing you. It's just, oh, God. Gout is terrible, man. It is terrible. David says, my dad suffered from gout, and he's been taking a medication called allopurinol. That's it, allopurinol. That's the one you take, and he's got to drink a lot of water, because that's not good for your kidneys. You have to be also very conscientious of drinking a lot of water. Big O, if Mac Jones outduels Tua, think those Watson conversations are going to intensify? No, they're not. No conversation is intensified. That's my entire point of all of this, that I don't believe any of this stuff. I believe they inquired a while ago, my brother. They're not trading for him now. He's got a shitload of lawsuits. There's no way they do that right now. Nobody's trading for Deshaun Watson now until he gets through everything that goes on in the courts. And then Houston can then trade him for a boatload of stuff and the best offer. Right now, there is no dealing him. I believe the NFL would kibosh any deal at this point in time. So I don't believe Houston's offering him now, and I don't believe anybody's making any kind of offers right now. I don't. I'm sorry. I believe there was inquiries earlier on. Now, I don't believe it. It doesn't make any sense. And by the way, according to Drew Rosenhaus, they could solve all the legal issues by Sunday. I think that's what he said. Something like that. Right? I think that's what he said. I'm not sure. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? All right, let's go with our number 2 next.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
It is our number 2. Man, we got to change that 2 million downloads. We're hitting 4 million today in downloads. Appreciate all of you out there. The 3 to 4 million went like this, dude. Amazing. So I appreciate all of you out there. We've been pushing 40 to 50,000 downloads every single day. And I can't say enough of the support you guys are giving us. Please smash the hell out of the like button. See, there are 313 people. We got 313 out there. So we need to smash the hell out of that like button, man. Let's go. Let's get it over 300, man. We got 313 people. Please. That's one of the most important things you'll do for us. That allows the algorithms to then show up on other people's YouTube channels. If they're looking for Dolphins or Canes or Heat or Marlins or Inter Miami content, they can find it here on this program and also get an objective, point of view on everything going on. So thank you all out there immensely. Appreciate all of you. Michael says, if Watson clears his issues and Tua doesn't play good, then we could see a move, but that's the only way. I mean, listen, my entire issue with all of this is we haven't even allowed Tua to fail yet. And yet people are already talking about him failing. And you're already talking about making a move for somebody else. I think the kid's going to be a star. I think he's going to be a great quarterback for the Dolphins for a long freaking time to come. I think all this stuff is silliness. But okay, that's fine. That's just me. I'm sorry. I think, the University of Miami football program is a joke under Manny Diaz, and I think that the Dolphins program under Chris Grier and Brian Flores is headed in a much better direction, in a championship direction. I think they're headed. And that's what, in the end, to me, that's what I look at both, right? I tweeted out during the game on Saturday that watching Saturdays makes you appreciate Sundays. And that's the difference there. I watch Manny Diaz going into his 3rd season. I don't see any improvement whatsoever. Brother, you could give me all the hype you want every offseason, and this guy transferred, and that guy transferred, and you added this coordinator, and you added that coach, and this and that, and you're adding this to the practice field, and you're adding this, but in the end, I don't see the results. And I've watched it for 2 straight years now under this guy. And again, this is a measuring stick, the Alabama game. I didn't expect you to win, but I wanted you to shock me a little bit and show me that you are a really good coach and you can do better. When I watch Flo with no talent in his first year in game 17, game 16, week 17, go to Foxborough and beat the GOAT and Belichick in a game they desperately needed. And that dude went on the road in Foxborough and beat him. I can't say any more. That's coaching, man. When I watch the Dolphins, I watch players get better year in and year out. I watch a team get better from the first week to week 17. When I watch it with Manny, I don't see the same thing. I see unorganization. Look at what's it called? Bubba Bolden. Targeting. Also, if it's not Amari Carter, it's this kid. And he clearly targeted him, and he clearly led with his helmet, which, by the way, is catastrophically stupid. I mean, have you not learned by now? I get it if we were in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s and you're leading with your head and you don't know anything about concussions and dementia and Alzheimer's and everything else that comes with it. And back then, whatever, smelling salt, ring my bell, Amy Stewart, all right, you're back out on the field. How many of you picked up on that one? Anyway, still, now you have all this information. They're teaching you from when you're a kid to lead with the shoulder, not with the helmet. And here's this guy freaking going right in head first. So he could give himself a concussion too. So not only was it illegal, not only did you get kicked out of the game, but you're also stupid. So the same shit goes on over and over and over and over and over again with Manny Diaz. That line, after all the crap that's been talked about, did it really get better? And that's the difference between what we watch on Sundays and what we watch on Saturdays. On Sundays, we watch a man that is incredibly responsible, a guy that has a real feel for what his team can and cannot do, a guy that his teams respond to him and they get better. On Saturday, I see disaster. I see disorganization. I just see a bunch of kids running around. There was confusion in that secondary. I mean, you have 19 of 22 starters coming back, right? Come on, man. And that's my problem with Manny Diaz. That's why, I mean, at times throughout the offseason, you go out on social media and you got people, and I'm talking about people that are like covering the team and stuff. And I get it. There's they're kind of like fan sites too. So it is what it is. But you like talk yourself into all of a sudden Manny Diaz turned into a good coach in the offseason. Like the University of Miami program all of a sudden started, they turned the clock way back to the 80s and the 90s. I'm sorry, I must have missed that. It's funny, man. It's fun. Look, I get it if you're on 560 and 790, you got no choice there. You carry the team. You're not going to have Len Weiner, but hey, don't pick on the team, okay? Take it easy. It's one of our partners. I get it. You got no choice. You got to kiss their ass. You can't even really call it like it is. But in other places, come on, man, let's go. Let's be a little objective. Let's call it like it is. Manny Diaz is a disaster. It's been a terrible hire. I wanted him badly. I thought it was the perfect fit. I love what he did with the defense. And when Mark Richt was done, well, then, yeah, I had no problem going to get him. But, hey, man, listen, I'm not perfect. I'm going to admit when I'm wrong. And I'm wrong about Manny Diaz. But I'm not going to make the mistake that I saw over the last couple of months here that they all were wrong too, but yet somehow or another they convinced themselves that you were going to be really good against Alabama or even beat Alabama. Can you imagine anybody even betting that game thinking that Miami was going to win or taking the points? I don't know if you know anybody that did that, but if they did that, I mean, are you on drugs? Seriously. How in the F do you put any faith in a Manny Diaz and his coaching staff? How? Where's the proof? Now, Flo, I got the world of confidence in that guy. He's earned it. He shows me all the damn time, man. There's one example after another, after another, after another. That's the difference between Sundays and Saturdays. I fear Saturdays. I can't wait for Sundays now. Although I used to fear the Sundays too, under certain coaches. I'm sorry, under all coaches after Shula. The Hurricanes needed to score tons of points to keep up and run the ball on that line versus Alabama's D was a dumb idea. Didn't fix till the second half, and it was too late. Terrible coaching. Michael says that Benito Jones did in Cincinnati was a flag, but that's how you teach your kids to tackle. Amy Stewart or Amy Fisher? Buttafuoco over here. Okay. No, Amy Stewart was, she sang a song called Knock on Wood. So there you go. That was, now, I didn't think a lot of people were going to pick up on that. Hell of an album cover, too, of Knock on Wood with Amy Stewart. The Canes punter was a bright spot on Saturday. Yeah, although they got close to it like 2 times, right? Headley, right? Award-winning Ring My Bell. That's Anita Ward, right? Wasn't Anita Ward? Amy Stewart is the other one. Anita Ward is Knock on Wood. Ring My Bell is Amy Stewart, right? Isn't it like that? I got to look it up now. See, now you're screwing with me now. Now I'm trying to remember here and see if I get it right here. Let me see. Okay. I will look it up here. Amy Stewart. And it's AMI, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Amy Stewart. Knock on Wood. That was it. Osby right. Yes, sir. See, there we go. Told you it was a hell of an album cover, too. She looks good there. Amy Stewart, Knock on Wood. How I remember all this crap, don't even ask me, okay? I have no idea. Seriously. That's just... Anyway, what can I tell you? Whatever is in here, it's just somehow or whatever, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Calling it like it is why we're all here watching you, Big O Show. Thank you. That's what Chris Adams says, for being blunt. Irving says Hockman Crowder are the only ones holding down the fort at QAM other than Joe Rose. Actually, Hockman Crowder are 790. They simulcast it. There's only Joe Rose on 560. They have 3 shows on 790 and 1 on QAM. They only have Joe on QAM, so that way when Joe retires in January, they'll shut down the station and they'll change the format. And it'll go to something else, news or talk or whatever, but that station's going by the wayside once Joe retires. Okay. Let's see what else. Do you really think if Watson came to Miami too, it would be headed to Houston? How is that competition? I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm not getting into that stupid ass conversation. Let's see. Mike Bonas says no proof. Knew that the Finns year he was the head coach. Mike, I have no idea what you're saying. I don't know if you're smoking, drinking, or doing something early in the morning, but let's see if we can write something that is, we can read and understand. Dwayne Dugan says, Big O, what's your feeling on Korn getting to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I think it's going to take them a long, long time. Put it this way, dude. I love Korn. They're really good. The fact that Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and the Scorpions and those kind of bands aren't in yet. Korn is good. Don't get me wrong. Okay. Are you ready for this? Brace yourself just in case you're a big Korn fan. Korn doesn't hold the jock of Iron Maiden. doesn't hold the jock of Judas Priest. You understand what I'm saying? Doesn't come close to the Scorpions. So until you start putting in those bands first, okay, there are a shitload of really good bands that deserve to go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before we freaking start talking about Korn. All right? So park that freak on a leash somewhere else. And I like Korn, but bro, don't tell me Korn's going to get in. And if you do, it's just a bigger joke why the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame deserves to get trashed. But love Korn. But boy, before we talk Korn, I got a lot of other bands I need to put in. And it ain't fucking T-Rex. Slap in the face. Hawaiian Punch. Nice job by you. Thank you, sir. Giving us a little love on the super chat. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And nice job by you being first today on the chat board. That's strong. Big O, are you going to cover the Flores press conference today? Oh, what time is that Flores press conference? You know that? I didn't even know. My bad, dude. I completely forgot about the Flores press conference. I don't even know when it is. My bad. I would cover it if I knew when it was. My bad. Anybody know the time? I did not look it up. My bad. And you know what? It's on now.
Guys are coming back now feeling
there we go.
Ready to ramp up ahead of week 1.
Okay. All right. So let's cover Brian Flores talking to the Meteors here. All right, let's do that right now. I'll bring it up here for you all.
It's I think guys are excited to practice, to prepare for this opportunity, and I think that's what it's about. It's about preparation, and if we prepare the right way, we'll give ourselves the best chance to have some success. And I think the focus is on the preparation.
The last time the Dolphins beat the Patriots, and I think I have that stat right, it was in my story, so I hope it's right. It said that Tua's longest completion in that ball game was 15 yards. Obviously, we ran the ball very effectively that particular day. How much better prepared do you think Tua is to create explosive plays this season as opposed to last season?
I think Tua's a better player. I think he's worked hard. I think he's made a lot of improvement. I think every game is a little bit different, Joe. I mean, I really do. I think it's every game, the ebbs and flows of the game, what's working, what's not working, where the matchups are, I mean, the weather. I mean, there's a lot of things that play into that. So, yeah, I mean, we always want, to create explosive plays. We want to limit them defensively. I'm not sure if you, but every game's a little bit different. And I think at the end of the day, the quarterback wants to, have command of the offense, move the football, protect the football, and to me, that's playing well.
I want to ask you about slow starts, something that has been, it's happened in this franchise before you even got here. There have been years when the team has started slow and then picked up steam as the season went along. What's your message to players in terms of the importance of starting fast? And is there anything you as a head coach can do to try to, get this team on track early?
I think you always want to start fast. I think it's all about preparation. We're ready to go and prepare. It gives us the best chance to execute. Again, every year is a little bit different. And we're not really thinking about previous years. We're thinking about today and what's in front of us. And the preparation, for this week that will just give us an opportunity or a chance to potentially have good execution on Sunday. But you can't have one without the other. And I think our players know that. And that's where the focus is right now, not on previous years or not on previous years. More on right now, today, and we always want to start fast. Every drill, every period, every meeting, every walkthrough, we always want to start fast. But I think the preparation is a big part of starting fast.
Patriots spent a lot of money in free agency in the offseason. How much of an impact do you think those players will have for the Patriots, and how surprising was it to you to see that happen, that strategy?
I think they'll have a significant impact. There's some very good players there at the tight end position, defensively. So I think they'll have a significant impact. I think they're good players. I think they're guys that could potentially be featured on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game as well. And they complement a lot of the players they already have on the team. They fit, kind of, what Bill and his staff are trying to do. And I think they're good additions. And it'll be a competitive game. They got a good team. They're well coached. And we're going to have to prepare the right way and execute the right way if we're going to have success.
Ryan, what made Jamal Perry the choice to be the COVID replacement on the practice squad when considering you guys already have 12 DBs on the active roster?
Well, Jamal, somebody who we have a lot of history with, we think he can help us. And at the end of the day, we're going to do what we feel is best for the team. And, we want to, bring guys up who can help us, and we felt that way about him, so we brought him up.
Back to what you mentioned earlier about trying to cope with different offensive line combinations. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Jesse was probably going to pencil in at the right side of the offensive line. What's your philosophy on maybe moving multiple guys, try to get that 5 versus just replacing one guy? I know some coaches think differently on that.
Get the best 5. That would be my initial answer. There's a lot that goes into that, but
he's not going to tell you he's going to move guys.
I think we've had a few different combinations, so I think from a communication standpoint, we should be the guys should have worked together in some different roles. So my first thought would be to get the best 5 guys out there and take it from there.
Perry, so you brought up one COVID replacement, moving 2 spots. The idea behind that?
Wait and see.
Jackson could play. He's vaccinated.
Might be coming back, or might be expected to come back sooner.
If he's vaccinated.
Wait and see.
What stands out to you about maybe Jalen Waddle's summer and maybe how early he could be a key contributor for you guys?
I think Jalen's worked hard. I think he's gotten better over the course of the training camp. I think he's smart. I think he's tough. I think it's important to him. I think he prepares the right way, and I think when you put all of those things together, it gives you an opportunity to play well and be in the right spots, and it gives you an opportunity to execute. So I think we've got a lot of guys in that who've done those things, and we just got to put it all together. And that's kind of what training camp's all about. That's what this week's all going to be all about. And I think that's where our focus is right now.
There's something that jumps out about Gaskin in terms of what he's better at now than he was when he first arrived in the building.
The first thing that comes to mind is protection. I think he's really worked hard at that. And made that a part of his game where he's not a guy that we got to take out in those situations. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. And then just his professionalism. This is a guy who's in early, out late, doing extras. Whether it's jugs, whether it's running routes, whether it's film study, and all the work that he puts in. Again, all the preparation that he goes through gives him an opportunity to have some success on the practice field, and then hopefully in games. So he's done a nice job.
I know you've done it a few times your third year here, but just going up to Foxborough, playing the Patriots, given your history, still add significance for you?
I mean, it's a good team, well coached. I was there a long time. I think, as the years pass, I'm a Miami Dolphin. That's kind of where that's where I'm at. So when we go up there, we're going up there to play a tough, competitive team, and we're gonna compete as well. So there's no it's a road game in a tough environment. It's a good team that's well coached, and we've got to prepare the right way to give ourselves a chance to have success. So no, there's no nostalgia or anything like that. Thank you, guys.
All right, there's the coach, and I think he's wrong about something. He said there's a chance both guys could come back. That's not true. Unvaccinated players, if you're either exposed or obviously if you test positive, you're automatically out 10 days. So we all know Adam Shaheen's an anti-vaxxer. He refuses to take the vaccine. That's his right. He wants to put himself at risk. He's also putting people at risk and his teammates at risk. The question is, you will find out in 2 days if Austin Jackson is vaccinated or unvaccinated. Vaccinated players only have to come up with a positive test in back-to-back tests with a 24-hour period between them. So if Austin Jackson tests positive today, and then or negative today, and then tomorrow he will test negative, the following day he is cleared to enter and get back with the team. They treat vaccinated players different than unvaccinated players. Okay, that's just the way it is. I was actually going to talk about that because of the Zach Martin story with the Cowboys. And I actually was, we actually do show prep on this show. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that because while you miss out on one guy, you still have a chance on getting another one back if the person is vaccinated. If he's vaccinated, then you've got the shot. You've got an opportunity at getting the player back. And that's the beauty of that part, that at least if you are vaccinated, you will have a chance at getting back. But if you're unvaccinated, then that's going to be a problem. You're automatically out for 10 days. So there's still a chance that Austin Jackson plays. If he does not, then he either tested positive for COVID in his exposure or he's unvaccinated. One of the two. Not exactly sure. Now, I have to think, again, I'm not a doctor, didn't sleep at a Holiday Inn yesterday or anything like that, but this young man did donate bone marrow. So I don't know what that does to you. I don't know if that's something that then makes him more vulnerable to anything else. Like, I've got 5 stents in my heart, you're vulnerable. If you've got diabetes, you're vulnerable. If you've got leukemia, you're vulnerable. If you've got lung disease, you're vulnerable. If you've got asthma, you're vulnerable. If you have low white blood cells, you're vulnerable. You understand what I'm saying? Some of us that are compromised with certain things, you don't want to get exposed to COVID because that could be the one that just puts you over the top. Okay? So we don't know. And so I'm wondering if his donating of bone marrow weakened him in any way, shape, or form, or made him more susceptible to things like this, that he would have to get vaccinated. And you think about it. You think about his sister that he had to help save her life. So if she's got some kind of a deficiency, you would figure that Austin Jackson is vaccinated because he's got to go back to be around his family and especially his sister. So I'm going to guess that Austin Jackson is vaccinated. I'm going to guess. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm just going to guess that he is. And if he is, then I think there's a chance you get Austin Jackson back. That's why he only activated one player, because maybe he didn't want to say it, but the rule is Shaheen is out. He's out. And so if he only activated one player and there's one spot, because he could have activated two, right? But he didn't. He only did one. I think Jackson must have tested negative, and they're going to wait for another test the following day, and then he will get then reinstated. So by Wednesday, we should have news of Austin Jackson rejoining the team. I'm just giving you what I'm reading from the periphery, from gathering all the information that goes on with this team, the people that are involved. I kind of get the feeling that we got a shot at getting Austin Jackson back, but Shaheen is out for this one. That's my guess. I'm sticking to it. We'll find out in a couple days if I'm right. Okay? Given that 93% of NFL players are vaccinated, it's a good guess that AJ is vaccinated. Yeah, and his sister. With his sister's situation, I kind of get the feeling, because if you have, only common sense, and if you have a heart and if you have common sense, okay? If you have somebody that is immune deficient, cancer, whatever, somebody in your family that's affected by something, old age, okay, even if you're an anti-vaxxer, you got to get away from your stupid ass point of view and locked into your opinion and whatever political stance you have and get rid of it. And you got to do what's best for your family and get vaccinated, correct? Right? No matter what stance you may have about anything in life, you got to go against that, and you better do what's right for your family, correct? And if you don't, then you're just selfish. That's it. So I would imagine he's vaccinated. And if he is, we'll find out in a couple days. Let's see. Yes, sir. The international black man is in the house. He says, good morning, my brother. I enjoyed texting you on Saturday. God bless you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Michael Rodriguez says, just listen to Flo. They only brought up one person. I think Jackson's coming back. You are reading it correctly, sir. Pat in Asheville says, unvaxxed players who test positive are gone at least 10 days. Close contact exposures to isolate for at least 5 days, regardless of test results. Big O, when they have the contract, the day started counting and the test starts, how many days difference vaccinated players versus unvaccinated players are? I don't know what that question is. Drago, you got a Big O, when they have contract. Oh, when they have contact, the days started counting and the test starts. How many days difference vaccinated players versus 10 days. If you're unvaccinated, you're out automatically. Whether you had exposure or you have COVID, you're out 10 days automatically, no matter what. Unvaccinated players have to produce if you have contact. Obviously, if you have COVID, you're going to be out longer. But if Jackson, which is what we're hoping, Jackson just had close contact, he needs to test 2 consecutive days negative. He does that, he's back in. So we got a shot. I think we're going to get Austin Jackson back. Let's hope so. Let's hope. Dude, I don't even want Adam Shaheen to have I don't want anybody to get COVID. You know, I get it. You don't vax, you're going to put yourself more at risk. It is what it is. Just because someone chooses not to take this vaccine doesn't make them anti-vax. Seriously, let's drop that narrative. No, Emilio, yes, it is. You're an anti-vaxxer, bro. That's all. Emilio, stop making up this bullshit. Listen, hey, guys, if you don't want to take the anti-vaxxer, stand up on your own. Have some cojones. You are what you are. You're an anti-vaxxer. If you don't want to take the vaccine, you're an anti-vaxxer, period. We had vaccines for measles, bro. But back then, we didn't have QAnon and stupid-ass conspiracy theories. You got that? We had polio, and we had vaccine for polio, but we didn't have a political stance on it, and we didn't come up with silly-ass QAnon conspiracies. Nowadays, we have the silly-ass conspiracies with zero proof. Zero. The proof is, and you don't want to believe it, that's your effing problem, dude. not mine. The people that are getting more affected by this are unvaccinated. Those are the facts. You don't want to believe it? Then, dude, go ahead and hang out with the QAnons. So until whatever it is, the New England Journal of Medicine or Johns Hopkins or Harvard Medicine or somebody comes out with legitimate evidence that refutes anything that's going on, then I'll believe it. Meanwhile, if you want to keep getting your news from the guy with the orange hair, that's your problem, dude, not mine. Have some cojones, dude. Have some balls. If you don't want to take the vaccine, you're an anti-vaxxer. Period. Be who you are. Don't hide. That's the other thing. I love these guys. Oh, I don't want to put the band on me. I don't want people to know I'm an anti-vaxxer. Well, dude, have some cojones. Stand up. I mean, if you believe in it so much, I love it. You want to make a stance, but you want to hide behind it. No, I don't want anybody to find out. Well, why, dude? Why don't you want anybody to find out? I mean, if you believe in it so much, you're an anti-vaxxer. Period. Stand up for yourself. Don't hide. Emila goes, I'm not a QAnon conspiracy theorist, dude. You need to give people freedom of choice. You have the freedom of choice. You have. Now understand, your freedom of choice is I'm putting more people at risk. I'm putting myself more at risk. Those are the facts. You can dodge it. You can deny it. You can lie about it. The facts are the hospitals are filled with people unvaccinated. Filled to the gills with people unvaccinated. What do you think? They're lying to you? That's what I love about anti-vaxxers. You bring it up, and then they don't want to take responsibility for what's going on. They don't want to admit that the hospitals are loaded with people that are unvaccinated, that the virus lives longer because of people that are unvaccinated. That's why they don't. It's funny how you take a stance, but yet you don't want to stand by it. And yet you don't want to believe what's going on, why you're unvaccinated, and how it affects everybody. It's freaking awesome. Let me take a stand, but take no responsibility behind that stance. Let me just act ignorantly that I don't affect anything. Wow. Boy, that's a real winning attitude there, buddy. Way to set the world back. Problem is, there aren't enough people like me with the balls to tell you the truth. That's all. Everybody pussyfoots around. Oh, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Brother, I'm worried more about killing people than hurting feelings. I'm worried about innocent people dying. I'm worried about people's family members dying for no reason at all. That's what I'm worried about. Anyway, they don't believe it's real, but when they get sick, they all want medical. No, yeah, it's like all those right-wing hosts lately that have been dying, and then they go on to Instagram, and in their deathbeds, they're telling, "Oh, take it seriously now, this and that. Oh, I wish I would have had the shot." Of course, I hate watching these people. We're losing them for no reason at all. Why? Because they believe something that is not right. This is nothing new. We've done vaccines for 100 years. But all of a sudden, this vaccine doesn't count. This one is evil. This one is not real. Man. Anyway, I know the flip side says, I know an entire family that has died from it, and the only person still alive is the young child. Had the vaccine came out soon enough, they would still be around. That's just one family. I mean, it's all over, dude. It's a sad. We have lost hundreds of thousands of people that we did not have to lose. Okay, we have people that are walking around that lost their mothers or lost their fathers or lost both or lost their grandmothers or grandfathers. You know what I hate? It's like, and it comes from the anti-vaxxer side. Oh, well, those are old people. I hate when I hear that, dude. Oh, you know, the old people are done. Well, yeah, that old person could have lived another 2 years, 10 years, 12 years. You don't know. But that person's mother or father could have been around for 10 more birthdays. Could have maybe watched their grandchild grow up a little bit. I mean, we have used this callous and cold attitude. Like at first, oh, well, you know, it's only affecting the old people. Well, old people are human beings too, right? Old people do have families, right? There's a whole bunch of old people that died that people love the hell out of them, and they lost them, and they're still hurting to this day. And they're still wondering. We have people that have lost their careers, that have lost their businesses, that have lost family members. Come on, man. This thing's torn us apart. Torn us apart. And yet, people don't want to go along with helping each other. And that's what you do when you take the damn vaccine. You're helping your fellow man and your fellow woman live longer. Because the more of us get vaccinated, the less the virus floats around. It's simple math. Believe whatever you want, man. But believe this. If you're not taking the vaccine, you're putting yourself at major risk and you're putting others at risk. That's what you're doing. Whether you want to believe it or not, you don't want to believe it, that's your problem, dude. You go ahead and live in denial if you want. I get it. Not enough people are willing to tell you that it's a problem. But go ahead. Keep doing it. All right. I think hospitals need to start denying people that don't take the vaccine. No, well, dude, you don't do that either. Okay? People get shot all the time, and they were in a shootout, and they were bad people. Hospitals are there to help everybody, my brother. Okay? You cannot deny somebody that didn't take the vaccine. All right? Just because they didn't take the vaccine for whatever reason, they might think it's right. They might think whatever. You still have to respect that. You know, we could try to talk to them and tell them, hey, you're doing the wrong thing. You're setting yourself up for failure, and you're setting us up for failure. If they don't want to do it, that's their right. But you can't not treat somebody, man. That's murder, my brother. That's not what you do. Okay? We got to take care of if the unvaccinated get sick, we don't penalize them and say, well, now you die. Too bad. No, we got to have the heart that they didn't have. They didn't have the understanding that by taking the vaccine, you're helping the world. You're helping everybody else, not just yourself. But at the moment of their dying need, we don't back away from another human being, my brother. We got to help everybody. Okay? Everybody deserves it. And everybody deserves understanding and a second chance, and we're all going to make mistakes, and this is a tragic mistake that they're making, but you don't let people suffer for that, because again, everybody is a husband and a mother and a father and a granddaughter and a grandmother and a grandfather, and you name it. You belong to somebody. So not only did they make a mistake, you're not going to allow them to suffer and die, because it's also penalizing their family members too. Okay, we all make mistakes. And right now, there are people making the mistake of not taking the vaccine. But we cannot penalize them by saying, you know, oh, well, you will die now because we're not going to help you. That's not what human beings do, my brother. We all help each other. Okay? No matter what. We got to help it. We got to help each other. We got to try to, convince those that aren't vaccinated to, this is the reason why. Stop believing silly ass crap that you read out there, and it comes from no credible sources whatsoever. That's the problem now, too. You got way too many people believing BS, and it comes from zero credibility. I'm vaccinated and wear a mask and will get the booster when available. I'm with you. As long as the FDA approves once the FDA approves the booster, I'm not due for a booster anyways till like December or something, because I had mine in March, right? I think you got to wait like 8 months, I think it was, or something like that. So I'm not eligible for a while, but until when the FDA approves the booster, then I'll take the booster if I have to. I got no problem. I don't want to end up in a hospital, man. I don't want to end up on a ventilator. I was terrified of that, and I got 5 stents in my heart. I'm vaccinated, by the way. I just believe we shouldn't force people to do something. We're not forcing them, but we got to tell them. Nobody's tying them down, Dominic. I don't see that. I don't see people grabbing unvaccinated people off the street and putting them in a chair, holding them down and forcing them to get vaccine. Nobody's forcing them. Okay? But now, I won't go to the extreme of the one guy like, hey, you're unvaccinated, you got COVID? Screw you, we're not allowing you in the hospital. I'm not doing that. But I am all for, you want to go to a concert? Prove you're unvaccinated. Prove you're vaccinated. You're unvaccinated, you can't get in. No negative test, no bullshit. No, you're out. That's what we got to do. Why put other people at risk? There's no reason. Now that we can do, and we should do. If I had a restaurant, only vaccinated people would come in. That's it. No way. That's what we got to do in this country. That I have no problem penalizing the unvaccinated, because the unvaccinated are putting everybody at risk. So I think businesses, I like these corporations now that are, you want to work here? Be vaccinated. You're not vaccinated, you don't work here. I'm all for that. That I am for. I'm 1,000% behind that. You're unvaccinated? Nah. You don't work here. You're not putting our people at risk and our customers at risk. Nope, sorry, not doing it. That I'm for. 100%. Big O, I'm not going to any Dolphin games, even though I'm fully vaccinated. Maybe next year. We'll see. Not ready yet. That makes sense, Derek. Makes a lot of sense. Susie says, problem is I stay in, so I don't get exposed. I'm vaxxed, but my neighbors and friends that are not vaxxed wants to come around like it's nothing. I don't want it around me. Susie, you're smart. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. Vax Pass sounds a lot like Mark of the Devil in the book of Revelations. I'm just saying. Hey, my brother, you can go and do whatever extreme you want to pick and any silliness that you want, Mark of the Devil, any stupid ass crap you want to come up with. That's the way it goes, man. Some of us want to live. Some of us, if we wanted to take chances, then I'd scale mountains. Okay? If I wanted to take chances, then I do stuff to put my life at risk. I don't need to go to a concert with a whole bunch of unvaccinated people to put myself at risk. No, I didn't choose a profession to put myself at risk. I chose radio, which I'm supposed to not be at risk. I chose to go to a concert or a restaurant. I don't need to hang out with a whole bunch of unvaccinated people, and it puts me at risk. So yes, I'm not doing that. But you can go ahead and choose whatever you want and paint whatever ridiculous picture of whatever the mask of the devil and all this. It's just like these, I can't breathe if I can't put on a mask. Oh, get the hell out of here with that. Who are you kidding, man? I can't breathe. Come on. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing that you would come up with that weak-ass excuse. I worked at Disney as a photographer last March when COVID began, and dude, I was paranoid. I haven't stopped taking the same precautions, not taking the chance. I don't blame you. I don't know. I don't blame you. So there you go. Lies, the vaccine doesn't work. Hey, lose weight, work out, eat right. America's still free. Plenty of people die that are skinny, my brother. Plenty of people die that are young now. So, again, more misinformation, right? Everybody dying is old, and everybody dying weighs 300 pounds. That's just not the truth, man. There's plenty of people now that are dying that are young, and there's plenty of people dying that are in shape. But again, create whatever narrative you want. That's what happens in today's world. You have zero proof, but you create whatever narrative you want. It's freaking awesome. Insurance companies should raise their rates for the unvaccinated. That's going to happen. Oh, that's going to happen big time. The insurance companies are going to cover their asses on that. They're going to cover that's coming, because unfortunately, somebody mentioned it. We're stuck with this crap for a few years. We are. Get used to it. We're going to have to live this life. Until we get the world vaccinated, this thing's going to live on forever. It's the way it is. And as long as you keep people unvaccinated, you're going to keep the variant around, and it'll morph into other variants, and it'll continue to hound us and haunt us. Guaranteed. All right. I say 5 more years. Could be. Sad part. It's going to be for a while. Eventually, even the unvaccinated, unfortunately, will learn a harsh lesson. And that's what's happening already. Since the hospitals, 97, 98% of those people are all unvaccinated, that eventually that gets around, man. And the unvaccinated, if they're hanging out with other unvaccinated people, one of them will tragically pass away, and then that will motivate the other person finally, and they'll come to realize. The problem is also you have some people that have survived COVID, so they don't look at it as anything big, and they got lucky. It's like Russian roulette. It'll affect some, it won't affect others as badly. Sad, but that's the brutal honesty. Mike McCarthy, by the way, says Zach Martin close to being out as you can be ruled out. He has to test negative twice and have no symptoms to play. So we'll see if he can actually get back in time. All right. Let's see, what else do we have here besides that we wanted to talk about a little bit on the Miami Dolphins or the University of Miami football team. I do have several things that I wanted to talk about today on the show and get to it. FAU, by the way, was half respectable there against Florida, 35-14. Not bad. Not bad. That Richardson kid for Florida was doing everything, man. Passing, running. They brought him off the bench. Congratulations to Inter Miami. They defeated Cincinnati 1-0. Breck Shea with the goal in the 90th minute. He should have scored before when Lewis Morgan blocked it. Should have had 2 goals in that game when it's all said and done. They are in the 10th spot, so congratulations to them. The 7th spot is 30 points. They're at 26. Miami has made an amazing turnaround. Credit to them. They've played well against some of the good teams in this league, and they've beaten some of the lesser teams in this league, like Cincinnati. So kudos to them that they have made this run. I didn't see this kind of run in them at all, to be honest with you. Again, I give Phil Neville all the credit in the world. They have played the kind of defense that has really kept them in all these games. They're not explosive offensively, but they're doing enough to either win games or get key draws, and that's why they've picked up a boatload of points here in the last couple of weeks, man. Great job by Inter Miami. A lot of fun. They might even have a shot at the damn playoffs, which is pretty awesome. So let's hope that they're able to get it and get it done. There might be some NFL players getting in trouble because of fake COVID cards. Now, I don't know if it really happened or not, but there are some indications that there could be an issue with a stripper / IG model right now, because there are some players that maybe are anti-vaxxers, and it could cost them their jobs. Cam Newton, as you all know, got cut last week, and then nobody knows whether it was vaccine or not with Belichick. He says, obviously it's a problem, but it's not the reason why we cut people. And Urban Meyer was even talking a little bit about it. So a TikToker, Tizzy Ent, is exposing a stripper named Jasmine Clifford, who goes by Anti-Vax Mama, for selling fake vaccine cards. She was making $100,000 per week from them and sold them to NFL players too. Reportedly, 15 people in total ended up being charged by the Manhattan DA for a conspiracy to process and distribute fraudulent COVID-19 vaccine cards, according to ABC. These vaccine cards were sold for $200, but they could pay $250 in order to get their name entered into the New York State Immunization Information System. Many people have since been calling Tizzy Ent a snitch, but in the end, he doesn't seem bothered at all and felt like he made the right decision exposing Clifford. Clifford ended up being charged with criminal possession of forged instrument, offering a false instrument for filing and conspiracy in the 5th degree. Another person she worked with, Nadazia Barkley, is being charged with offering false instrument for filing and conspiracy in the 5th degree. It says going through this much headache and risking jail time isn't worth it for the vaccine card. Both Pfizer and Moderna vaccines have been proven to be safe and effective. If the NFL players are ID'd by the feds, that could be a massive scandal and multiple suspensions could happen. And then they jokingly put, if the players did get fake cards, I hope they use Fall Guys like Chris Carter would. So the aforementioned Tizzy Ent ended up posting a video, and in the video, I'm gonna show you the video of Tizzy Ent talking about this whole mess, right? Let's see. Here we go. Here's Tizzy Ent. Is that no? I don't. Did I get the right one? Let me see. No, that's the wrong one. Okay, let me try again. I'm going to put Tizzy Ent up here. All right, now I think I got it right. Okay.
By now, I feel most of you have seen this. What's funny to me is the reaction from some people. Like messages I've received or comments I've seen that call me a snitch or a rat. But here's the funny thing. You know what a rat is? A rat is someone who is involved in the activity and then flips on the other people involved for like a reduced sentence. I wasn't involved in shit. And I didn't have the names of people like the woman who was making those entries for her. But that woman got caught up. And the 250 people that she made cards for got caught up. And the 13 frontline workers who were also charged got caught up. I wonder who could have given prosecutors that information. Especially when Jasmine on her House of J boutique, where she sells like knockoff handbags, is bragging about the fact that she's not mad, she's not going to jail, she's not going to prison. Wow, charged with conspiracy and not going to prison. I wonder what you could have done to swing that. But it is funny to me that those statements came from your boutique page when you've made posts on there before that seem to indicate that only exists for you to launder money. And I mean, now we have a pretty good idea of what money you might need to launder. Maybe someone should look into that. In fact, as long as people are looking into things, out of all the people that you made phony COVID-19 vaccine cards for or even entered in the database, did any of them happen to be NFL players? Because a little birdie may have told me that you were squeaking quite a bit about that a little while back. Just as long as people are looking into things.
I just hope no Dolphin players are involved in this whole thing here. Now, it's in New York, so you wonder any Jets, any Giants involved in all of this? And again, to the anti-vaxxers, okay? You don't want to take the vaccine. You want to stand by it? Don't go buying fake cards. Stand by it. You want to take a stance, right? Well, take the stance. I mean, right? You're going to be a tough guy. You're going to be a tough woman, right? Well, then take the stance. Fight for what you believe in. Don't hide behind it. Don't hide behind the fact you don't want people to know whether you're a vaxxer or an anti-vaxxer. No. Don't hide behind the fact that you want to go get a fake card. No, come on. Stand by it. You're not allowed in a movie theater because they only allow vaccinated. Stand by it and say, I can do without the movies. That's all. I mean, it's pretty interesting. Zim says, ask again, if you're vaccinated and the vaccine works so well, why would you be worried about people that aren't vaccinated? Sir, if you take the flu shot, do you start hanging out with people that are sneezing and coughing and wheezing all over the place and you start shaking hands with them? Is that what you're going to do, sir? Because you can still catch it. And then if you catch it, even though you're not going to get hospitalized, if you catch it, then you take it home to somebody that maybe has immune deficiency, has cancer, has diabetes at home. And the anti-vaxxer gave it to a vaxxer, and the vaxxer didn't know that they have it, and then they carried it over at home to somebody that actually maybe could not medically get the vaccine. And now you killed somebody secondhand. How do you like them apples, sir? But if you're vaccinated, there's a good chance you might not get it also. So you get lucky. But the slim chance that you do get it and then pass it on to somebody, and because the anti-vaxxer originally gave it to him, how does that feel? But again, sir, with that text there, it shows me you don't give a shit about other human beings. That's the problem. That's why you put out that explanation, because you don't give a shit about other human beings on the planet. You only care about yourself. Meanwhile, the vaxxer actually cares about you, sir. You only care about what you see, your point of view. Oh, but if the vaxxer is so worried, you know why they're worried? Because there's a bigger picture involved, my friend. The bigger picture that you don't care about, buddy. That's what that text says there. I don't give a shit about human beings. That's it. You're so worried about vaccine and anti-vaccine that you still don't get it, that it can still spread and will continue to spread it because people that are not vaccinated are the ones that are more at risk of catching it and keeping it alive. If you're vaccinated, you have a chance of fending it off. But if you catch it, you won't end up in the hospital and you won't end up dead. But if you catch it, you could pass it on to somebody that is immune deficient or didn't have the vaccine, and you killed them. You know what? For you anti-vaxxers, you could pass it on to somebody that's vaccinated, and then that vaccinated person gives it to somebody else that's an anti-vaxxer, and you killed them. So now you killed one of your own anti-vaxxers by using a vaccinated person as a conduit to get to it. How do you like them apples, sir? But I get it. You don't give a shit about human beings. So you'll keep fighting the fight that kills people. Awesome. Love it. That is awesome. Yeah. And he goes, again, if the vaccine worked, why would it work? Only Zin thinks that all Sir, do you think that a vaccine means that it's 100%? Are you that stupid, Zin? Are you that mother effing stupid to think that any vaccine is 100%? Seriously, dude. Like, you're acting like if you take any vaccine, it's 100%. I don't know if you know this, But no vaccine has ever been 100%, ever in the history of mankind. This is the stupidity we have right there. That dude right there is the epitome and the example of stupid ass mofo in this country that doesn't get it. Right there. That's the stupid ass mofo. This idiot thinks that every vaccine is 100%. You can't, brother, you cannot fix stupidity. There's no way you can fix stupidity. Okay? Zero way of fixing stupidity. Right there. That guy thinks vaccines are 100%. That's never been invented. But again, that's what you get. Nice job. Oh, my God. Yeah. Wow. It's really incredible. It really is. All right. Oh, let me see. Damn. They sent me something, but it has like all these weird lines. Let's see. Social distancing rules in effect for unvaccinated players in various locations include locker rooms, training rooms, and meeting rooms. If an unvaccinated player is deemed high-risk close contact of a positive case, he must quarantine away from the team for 5 days. A vaccinated player who is in close contact is required to isolate. Any unvaccinated player who tests positive for COVID-19 is subject to at least 10 days of quarantine. A vaccinated player who tests positive can return with 2 negative PCR tests taken at least 24 hours apart, and if is asymptomatic for 48 hours. That's exactly what I said. That the vaccinated player has 48 hours. Thank you for the info. Appreciate that. All right, let's go. What else do we have here? Polly says, I was an anti-vaxxer, but honestly, Big O has made more sense for me than anyone who has tried to tell me to get it. Thinking of potentially killing others is something I didn't think of. Thank you. That's what it's all about, dude. Getting vaccinated it's a little bit about you. It's about everybody else. When you get vaccinated, you are doing it for society. You're doing it for everyone else is what you're doing. You're doing a service for the world, not for Miami, not for Fort Lauderdale, not for Hollywood, not for the state of Florida, not for the United States. You are doing a service for the world. That's what you're doing. Every one of us that is getting the vaccine, we are helping the world get better. Not just you. We're secondary. Because if you're fortunate enough to get the vaccine, think about this. There are billions that are unfortunate right now and can't get the vaccine. Yet we have others that are just passing up on an opportunity to make all of our lives better and get back to normalcy. But the more we fight it, the longer this will last, the more people we're killing, the more people that are dying, and that part is unacceptable. It's pretty simple, man. And this is nothing new. This is absolutely zero new. We have done this for over 100 years. This is not the first time. And guess what, folks? This isn't going to be the last time. It's just been the first time for us in a long time now in our lifetimes. But they had to deal with it with polio, and every kid had to deal with measles, and you had to get the vaccine. And there was none of this stupid ass stuff that was being said or done or anti-anything for measles or for polio. Why? Because everybody understood it's called a pandemic, which affects everyone. Tall, fat, skinny, white, black, red, yellow, Asian, Latin, Hispanic, whatever, American, German, Argentine, you name it. It affects everybody. There's no Democrat, there's no Republican, there's no independent, none of that crap. It's about the human freaking race, period. That's all you're doing it for. You're doing it for everybody else. All right. Putting on deodorant in the morning is also a service to the world around you. Amen. Showering, definitely a service to the world. And look, if we all don't get vaccinated, then NorCal will never be able to puff pass with just anybody. And he's got to wait, and he's got to stay solo most of the time. Can't share. You want to get back to sharing. Sharing is caring. Right now, we're going to share each other to get killed, which is not good. I did, I kind of showed you the video already, right? Of what's it called? Kelly with Brian Kelly with the Fighting Irish. And so Rich McKay, for those of you that are not old enough, years ago, Rich McKay was asked about the execution of his offense after a terrible loss, and he said, "I'm all for it." So that was kind of a joke, that the execution of the offense, and that they didn't execute, they didn't score, they didn't do anything. But he's saying, yeah, the execution of the offense, and he said, "I'm all for it." And it was kind of a running joke. So Brian Kelly, after the Florida State win, and it was an overtime win against Florida State, 41-38, which props to FSU, man. They played a pretty good game. They played better than I thought. That's for sure. And you think about it, isn't that dude like in his second year or something? So Norvell, right? And I think he might be slightly ahead of Manny Diaz in his third year. So Brian Kelly didn't really get the quote right.
I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight. I mean, I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight. I mean,
look at her face. Watch.
Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight.
I don't think she really knew the cut.
I'm in favor of execution.
And this, it kind of takes an older person to have lived the whole Rich McKay era and kind of know about it. But her face is kind of serious on all of that. And look, I get it. Brian Kelly, he looks like a big old sourpuss all the time. He's a good coach because he's done pretty well there in Notre Dame, considering, it's Notre Dame. It's not the easiest place to win a national championship when you've got your academic requirements are probably a little tougher than in some places. So it becomes a challenge for anybody that coaches at Notre Dame. But, I mean, there's a time and a place for everything, and I get what he was trying to say. And he probably would have said, Rich McKay said it years ago when his offense struggled, and they asked him about the execution of his offense, and he said he was all for it. Well, tonight I kind of agree with Rich McKay. I know what he felt like that day. It's probably what he should have said and how he should have phrased it. It came out all wrong, that he wants to basically assassinate his players and all of that, and I'm not going to go to the extreme and take this literal and go to like, oh my God, this guy's evil and all that. It was a dude caught up in an emotional moment, a typical coach that is never happy with any kind of result, right? Unless it's the Super Bowl or the national championship that you win at 41-38 in overtime, you're going to celebrate. You're not going to do anything. But every other week, every coach is pissed off at the end, no matter what. We could have done better this, and this. So that's the attitude he was going into that interview with. Like, he was unhappy that his team made it that close and it should have been a bigger margin of victory. I get all of that. He phrased it the wrong way. I mean, it just came out absolutely terrible. It was funny. We can only laugh at it now. I'm sure he'll get to laugh at it 5-10 years from now. I hope nobody's thinking, oh, fire him for saying that. He didn't mean anything like that. He kind of meant that he was pissed off and frustrated with his offense. And okay, that's fine. His team didn't execute that well offensively or defensively, the other night or last night, shall I say. But, it's just kind of funny. And I could tell that the girl had no idea what he was talking about. She had no idea about the Rich McKay quote. So she was probably going, what the hell is this man talking about? He wants to execute his team? What is this? So she was probably lost in that moment. I'm guessing because she's young. So a lot of young people heard that and they were probably going, huh, what? And they didn't know anything about Rich McKay. They don't know about the Bucks. They don't know about the Bucks losing 27 straight games before they won their first game, from their expansion year on. They don't know about any of that kind of stuff. That's the problem. So there's a loss of context there and history, and like the announcer, like if I was the sideline host right there, I would have said, Coach, I get what you're saying. You're channeling the spirit of Rich McKay, and you were unhappy with your team's offense. And then I would have given him a chance to kind of, yeah, exactly. That's what I meant, and this and that, and all that stuff. But she didn't know that, so she can't really kind of bring that out of him because she's got to know, that whole thing. But I found it funny, man. You're trying to make a joke. You're trying to make a little light of it because you're frustrated. And then you just put your entire leg in your mouth. Not just your foot. It was foot, ankle, calf, thigh, hamstring, all the way in, dude. You just absolutely slaughtered everything there on that one. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. By the way, you can reach out to us on Yahoo email. You can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. YouTube, remember, share the link as always. Give us some love there on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. It is very important that you smash the like button, please. There we go. We got 7 downs. We got 7 anti-vaxxers. Hey, I love you all out there, but if you don't want to, take it, what can I tell you, man? Ronnie says Rich McKay just got introduced to a new generation. Yep. I'm with you. But they needed context, and if you don't know the whole thing, you won't understand it. If they tell you, oh, well, that's a coach from the 70s said that. And then, it's just, you got to kind of know everything about it. But, whatever. It is what it is. Kyle Lowry probably said Kawhi Leonard was soft when Kawhi Leonard signed that big 5-year extension with the Flippers. I don't know why that text is there, Irving. What was that part of? I have no idea. Tulane might beat UM right now. Yeah, definitely. I can definitely agree with that. Let's see. Slaughter everything was a pun intended. We have 7 Adam Shaheens. I tried as a kid to like the Bucks, but I couldn't. But damn, I've always been a Bucks fan. I root for the Bucks, man. Obviously, not against the Dolphins. I want the Dolphins to kick their ass every time they play them, just like the Jags. But I don't have any dislike. I've never disliked the Bucks or the Jags. Now, I'll tell you on the flip side, I've never felt that way about the Magic. Never. Disliked the Magic from day one. Isn't that weird? Like, I don't have anything against the Rays, nothing against the Jags, nothing against the Bucks, but I don't like the Magic. That's always been from day one, from the expansion years. I don't like the Magic. And as nice of a man and a great as a man Pat Williams is, obviously, because he's really a good human being. And that man and his wife, I want to say, adopted like 15 kids. He's a saint, but he was annoying as a Heat fan and watching him as a Magic present. And he had the stroke of luck, dude, because that guy won the number 1 pick twice in the lottery. He was one lucky sumbitch, I'll tell you that. And he deserved all. Considering the way he carried himself in life, considering he was a way better human being than I'll ever be, because anybody that could, adopt that many kids is an angel above angels. Okay, so I'll never deny what Pat Williams is as a person, dude. That guy is. I think we all should strive to be and to, you know, what I was just talking about, how the vaccine is a way for you to give back to the world. In a way, this man gave everything, every part of his life back to so many young people and to help them have better lives, that you can't say enough good things about Pat Williams. But having said all that on the basketball side, oh man, that was annoying. Oh, that was annoying. So Chris Solo says, Big O, is Austin Jackson out for Sunday's game? Give it a couple days and we'll find out, sir. If he picked up COVID, then he's out. But if he just had close contact and he's vaccinated, he only needs a couple of days and then back-to-back tests that are negative and 24 hours apart, and he's fine. So that's why I think they activated only one guy instead of two. I think they feel Austin Jackson's going to come back. Shaheen is out. He's an anti-vaxxer, so he's out. If you don't take the vaccine and you're exposed or you get it, you're out for 10 days no matter what, so you're done. So it doesn't matter. He's toast for the game. But you still have a shot at getting Austin Jackson back. I don't like repeating myself, but something like this, it's really quick, so I'll repeat it. Danny says, when I grew up there was no baseball, hockey, basketball, or baseball except spring ball. Only Dolphins and Gators for me. Me too. Dolphins, Canes, and Strikers. Because we had the Strikers up in the late 70s and early 80s. We did get the Strikers, so we had that. So I had a little bit of soccer. But, yeah, it was all Dolphins, UM, and soccer. And then, oh, man, I used to love spring training here, man. God, my dad and I, rest in peace. My dad passed away several years ago. But my dad and I used to go down to Miami Baseball Stadium the first day the tickets were available, and we'd buy Orioles versus Yankees for him, and then we'd buy Orioles versus Phillies for me because I was a Mike Schmidt guy. God, it was such a cool thing to go to spring training back in those days when I was a kid. That was I loved it, man. I loved it. Because it was such a treat because we didn't have baseball here. I still remember the Orioles game we had over at the stadium to kind of break the ice for baseball to come here and prove that we could, have a baseball team. I went to that, and I went to, obviously, the basketball game, which was the Sixers and the Nets at the Knight Center, to prove that we could have an NBA team, because that's what they did in those days. They would hold a professional game in your town as, a test to see if the town would support it. And obviously, we packed the stadium in for that game in baseball, and the Knight Center was, give me a break. That was such a low bar. I mean, the Knight Center is maybe with basketball, maybe more people than a concert. So I'll say 3,500, 4,000 people for a basketball game. I know for a concert, it's like 2,500 or something like that, the James O. Knight Center. Somebody correct me out there. Tell me what it is, if I'm right or wrong, or how much I'm off or something like that. But I remember for a basketball game, there were more people, more stands. So they probably fit more in the Knight Center for a basketball event. But I know for a concert, it's not that much. I want to say it's like 2,000, maybe 2,500. It's not a lot. I love that place, by the way, for a concert. Oh, the Knight Center has great acoustics, man. Still one of the best. Although the best in this town in South Florida right now is still the it's in downtown. It's the really old the Olympus Theater in downtown. That, and I would say the Adrian Arsts has incredible acoustics, and the one in Palm Beach, oh man, what's the name of that place in Palm Beach? It's really nice. Oh, damn it. Somebody help me out with the Palm Beach venues. And don't give me the damn what's it called? The the amphitheater, not the amphitheater. It's a closed place. It's really nice. No, see, I knew somebody would come up with Cruzan. No amphitheater is going to have. You have to go to Red Rocks for that kind of amphitheater to have that kind of acoustics. The Javits, thank you. The Kravitz, not Javits, Kravitz. The Kravitz Center. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Clee. Appreciate you. There you go. The Kravitz Center. That place there. Awesome acoustics in that one. Those are the 3 best places right now for sound in South Florida. If you get to go to a concert at the Knight Center, go. If you get one at the Olympus, you better go. If you go to the Adrian R Center and you have an artist there, go. I saw Shaka Khan there. Oh, man. That was awesome. That was fantastic. So good. Seen a couple concerts there at the Adrian Arst. And then the Kravitz Center is just fantastic. My favorite of all time in South Florida is still the Sunrise Musical Theater. But obviously we know that that's, dead and gone, unfortunately. Geofish says the Sportatorium, LOL. Hialeah Park. Hey, I got some news for you. A little birdie told me that Santa's Enchanted Forest is back. Hialeah Park. Just saying. So for those of you that like to go to Santa's Enchanted Forest and it's gone now from Tropical Park, you can expect Santa's Enchanted Forest now to return. Hialeah Park, I'm told, is going to have Santa's Enchanted Forest. How about that? So if you want to take your family or your kids, Santa's Enchanted Forest, it is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen, and it is coming back to Hialeah Park now instead of over there at Tropical Park. So if you come from the north, you actually will appreciate that. You'll be able to enjoy that. That's pretty cool. That's very cool. So there's a little news just in case you didn't know it. Don't take it serious. So it's very objective, and he was straight up honest. I've had my disagreements with him, and I've been listening to him since the 90s. Big O loves his listeners. I do love my listeners. Of course I do. Just meet me anytime. You'll see. Even our silly our silly non-vax dude. What's his name? Zin Min. What was the guy's name? Zim. There you go. We love Zim too, no matter if he has a ridiculous stance on vaccination. We love them all. Big O, what's the odds of Miami going 2-0 to start the season? They're going to go 2-0. Why are you listen, bro. Miami's going to beat New England on Sunday. I'm not worried about it. I think Miami has the better team. I'm not buying the hype. Miami has the more experienced quarterback now, too. And he's seen the Patriots also. So he's watched them twice in a year. I'm not worried about it. I think Miami is going to have a really good season. I really do. I can't wait for Sunday to roll around. By the way, it sucks. We got to wait till the 4:00 game, right? That blows, dude. We would go to Winter Haven and see the Red Sox play every year. The Yankees would play an exhibition game versus the Gators. That was always fun. Yeah, Marlins played against the Canes. Exactly. Let's see what else. You glossed over Buffalo, LOL. Well, that'll be a challenge, but that one will be tough. I'm not going to gloss over the Buffalo one. I'm not going to tell you that they'll win. Let me see how they perform against New England. Now, I will say this. I don't fear the Buffalo game at all. I think Miami can hang with Buffalo. And yes, they have a chance at beating them. I think Miami beats New England. The Buffalo game is not going to be as simple. That one's going to dude, I got to give Buffalo the respect that they deserve. They've earned it. I'm not going to just yeah, for sure they're going to be Buffalo. They got a shot. They can do it. They can. I believe with Miami's secondary, If that pass rush steps up this season with that secondary, I think they're going to cause fits for any quarterback to have success against them. Now, it's going to be up to Flo and company to create some pressure up front with their front seven. But I love Miami's secondary, man. And I think Javon Holland, in the end, maybe at the beginning of the season, will be a little bit of a challenge because he's young and he's going to get fooled sometimes because he's young. He's got to figure things out. But I think the second half of the season, Javon Holland takes off and it really becomes a really good secondary overall and an upgrade from last year. If they get a pass rush, a consistent pass rush that can get after the quarterback, they can definitely beat Buffalo. No doubt in my mind. Now, I'm not going to guarantee you the Buffalo win, but I guarantee you that they'll beat the Patriots in week 1. That I am 100% sure. Hey, Amazon says it just delivered my packages. All right, I got my gout pills. I like it. Emilio says, Rosendo, thank you, sir. I know how to agree and disagree and separate feelings from facts. Still enjoy O's sports opinions and don't cancel when we disagree, unlike a lot of others. It's all right, Emilio. I love you too. I still want you to get your ass vaccinated. I still want you to save lives. And if I meet you, I'll tell you the same thing. Get your ass vaccinated. Save lives. I tell everybody that's unvaccinated, get your ass in there. Save lives. So it's all right. Big O, you think the defense will make Mac Jones look silly? I think so. I think they will make Mac Jones struggle. Now, everybody knows what's coming. Okay? They're going to get Harris and company, and they're going to try to pound the crap out of the ball, and they're going to try to make as much play action out of it as possible. They're going to try to make life easy for Mac Jones. That's why they got the 2 tight ends, just like Miami. And they are going to try to first physically dominate Miami. If they do that, it's going to be a long day for the Dolphins. They've got to disrupt that running game right away. You saw what happened in that first game last year when they allowed Cam and the boys to run. Now, this time, you don't have a running quarterback, so that dimension is out. So it should be a little more obvious to defend. I'm not going to call it easy because they've got a decent line over there with New England, and they've got a really nice young back that they've drafted, and they've got a plethora of backs, actually. But you cannot allow them to dominate on the ground. That, to me, is the ultimate key to this game. If you don't allow them to control the game on the ground, I think Miami wins this game because I don't believe they're going to dominate in the air. And I think Miami is better suited now to cover tight ends than they ever have been with having Rowe and having Javon Holland. I think that gives you a really good chance. And then you got X to take out their best receiver, and that just is going to make life a lot tougher on Mac Jones, but you cannot allow them to run you over. If they allow them to run them over, that will be a problem. There's no doubt in my mind there. Running will be the key to Sunday for Miami to win this game. You got to shut them down and force Mac Jones to beat you and force Mac Jones to make mistakes versus that secondary. And then they'll pick up. I think they can pick up a couple of interceptions in this game from Mac Jones. I'm just not. It's funny because Mac Jones gets every benefit of the doubt because of the history of the Patriots. Mac Jones already looks like Tom Brady, just like Harold Miner was Baby Jordan. And then you've got, obviously, Bill Belichick, who's got the 6 championships. So everybody expects them to be great again. And they weren't great last year. So all of a sudden, they're supposed to be great again this year. And I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. And they lost their best corner for this game, too, which I think they desperately need for a game like this. Miami's loaded at wide receiver. I think Miami's wide receiving core is going to create all kinds of fits for the Patriots. So that's just me. All right? But that's what I would tell you about the game on Sunday. Stop the damn run, and you'll be fine. Big O only danks trolls. He's right. He's right. Look, I don't agree with Fan, Tim, whatever. I didn't block him because he didn't get abusive. He didn't start doing it like 8,000 times. Those are the people that I always block. The ones that become absolutely abusive idiots. Those are the people that I block. I never block somebody because I disagree with them. I don't care about that. Who gives a shit? We're going to disagree a ton. Who cares, bro? I don't take it personal, or I don't hold it against you either. I'm going to love you either way, man. Don't matter. No, I'm going to disagree with you and tell you, hey, I disagree with you for whatever it is. But as long as you're not abusive, I don't block anybody. That's all. It's the idiot that thinks he's going to dominate the entire chat board and start trying to make 1 point over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then, early in this show, I even let that go. But then we had a couple guys that started to do it every day. I forgot those idiots' names. Then I eliminated those guys. And then I kind of got on the bandwagon of, okay, if you're just going to be abusive, then you're out. Because we can disagree a ton. That's fine. I don't care. But there's no need to post it 4,000 times. And there's no need to make the same point over and over and over again. We got you. You made your point. Move on. Dolphin Dan says, agree, Big O, but I'm still respecting Mac's tutelage. That's fine. He's still a rookie, man. I am going to treat him like what he is, a rookie. And that's it. Big O, if the Dolphins go 2-0, it's safe to say they go 4-0 going to Tampa game, right? Yeah. Yeah, if they go 2-0. Yeah, if they win against Buffalo, we're going to lose our minds. Seriously. You end up beating Buffalo, we're going to have two extremes. Are you ready? Here's what's going to happen. I already told you about this last week. Okay? Last week I told you, if Mac Jones beats Tua, you're going to have people saying they got the wrong Alabama quarterback. They should have waited a year and gotten Mac Jones instead of Tua. Correct? Now, if they beat Buffalo in week 2, we're going to have people saying the Dolphins are Super Bowl contenders. That's what's going to happen. Podcast talk show says, I have a question for you. What is your biggest fear? What is your worst nightmare? Do you like pets and animals? What community do you do? Who's your favorite actor? Yes, we like rappers. Yes. I don't know why I'm going to even, there's a sports talk show, right? Maybe we squeeze in a little life. Maybe we squeeze in a little music, a little crypto, but it's not, Are you like 10 years old? Ask it, because it is coming from Twitch. So it may be somebody really, really young. All right, let me entertain, right? Let's have some fun. What's my biggest fear? Dying. What is my worst nightmare? Not getting laid. Do I like pets and animals? Well, obviously he doesn't follow this show. We've got, like 5 dogs in the house. What community did you do? What community did you do? I have no idea what that means. Who's your favorite actor? Damn, that one's tough. That one's really tough. Al Pacino. Man, it's tough because I love Dustin Hoffman, Jack Nicholson. Damn. There's a lot of them. Denzel Washington. I'm a monster Denzel Washington fan. There's too many. It's hard. But Al Pacino, what the hell? Let's see. Who's your favorite singer? I'm going to go with Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden. Do I like rappers? Yes, I do. Chuck D's my favorite rapper of all time, favorite voice of all time. Now, I love all kinds of rappers, so we can talk about that. Has anybody have anybody being mean to you or bullying? Well, I don't get bullied, but mean, I don't know. I mean, radio's been mean to me the last couple of years. I'll leave it at that. There you go. All right. I answered the questions. Monty Python question. What is the average airspeed velocity of a laden swallow? Vlad says Clint Eastwood, my all-time favorite. What am I going to tell you? Awesome freaking actor, bro. I mean, it's like splitting hairs, right? We start talking about actors like the upper echelon, it's, what can I tell you? Al Pacino, you get 100 for that, Big O. Surprised you didn't mention De Niro. Yeah, De Niro's another great one. I just kind of like that. I like that Pacino and Hoffman over De Niro have done more characters and different kinds of characters. I think that they have pushed the envelope more. I love De Niro, but I think De Niro's characters have they're kind of alike almost. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I've seen Hoffman do stuff that's completely off what you would normally see a normal actor do. And the same thing with Al Pacino. They have experimented in different ways. When you see Al Pacino in Scarface, and then you see him in Dog Day Afternoon and stuff like that, it just, man, it's a different ball game. You know what I'm saying? Taxi Driver, it just, man, there are some things, there's some great movies out there that, De Niro has done, Goodfellas, all that stuff, but he doesn't really push the envelope in characters. I love a lot of De Niro's roles from, The Untouchables and everything else that he's done, but I just kind of love that Pacino and Hoffman have experimented a lot more than De Niro has. If that's a fair, argument for why maybe I chose those two and I didn't mention De Niro. Denzel also has done the same thing. He has played so many roles. You know what I mean? Different kinds of roles that I love that. Tom Hanks. Dude, I forgot Tom Hanks. Holy shit, Tom Hanks. Yes. Tom freaking Hanks. Yes. That's another one that's pushed the envelope in many different directions too that I like about that. And that's kind of why I chose him over. Al Pacino is awesome, Vlad says. The movie Heat with Robert De Niro and Al was awesome. Got to have more cowbell. Christopher Walken. Oh, man. That's a good one. I like him. Christopher Walken is amazing. Diane Mayer says Iron Maiden is awesome. How about the ladies chiming in? Up the irons. Yeah. I love it. Ladies chiming in on, or is that a guy using a lady's name because it's her account? Diane, are you a lady or are you a guy using your lady's account? I'm just wondering. I gotta ask that because I find it so cool that a woman would be praising Iron Maiden. That to me is, I gotta tell you, that's awesome right there. Daniel Day-Lewis is the best actor living today. That's another great one. Talk about a guy also that has played all kinds of roles. That's a really good one, Daniel Day-Lewis. It's a really good one. But you still haven't told me, Diane, if you're actually Diane or you're Diane's boyfriend, husband using Diane's account. That's the question. Oh, what about John Travolta? You know, I think Travolta's a hell of an actor. I got no problem. You know, if somebody told me that John Travolta was their favorite actor, why not, dude? Everything that he's done, from playing bad guys and Face Off and Swordfish, and you go to Grease and then Urban Cowboy and Saturday Night Fever and Welcome Back, Kotter, and everything that he's done. He's gone to all kinds of extremes. Yeah, definitely. And just like Deshaun Watson, he also has a history with massage therapists. Oh, I'm sorry. Brother Leo says, I've been following for years. Still remember when you went to the combine and said Larry Fitzgerald could catch BBs. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Hard to miss on Fitzgerald, you know what I mean? But he was coming out of Georgia Tech. So, yeah. I look up to musicians and athletes and actors. Even kids are actors. How hard can it be? I prefer to watch movies with unknown actors. Yeah, it all depends, dude. Some unknown actors will do a great job. Plenty of known actors will do an awesome job. Not everybody can act. You make it sound like it's an easy thing, and it's not an easy thing to sell yourself out to a character and try to live through that character and convince people that you're that character. When you're able to do that, that's a pretty special gift overall. So I wouldn't downplay acting like I wouldn't downplay an athlete, like I wouldn't downplay a lawyer, and I wouldn't downplay a nurse, and I certainly wouldn't downplay a teacher. Because I love them. Oh, yeah, teaching. Oh, it's not that difficult. Get the F out of here, bro. You have no idea what it's like to deal with 200 kids and try to teach them and reach them. Especially in today's world where half the parents don't do the job at home to make it, easier for everybody. So I'm not going to downplay any of that, my brother, because I'm not a musician. I'm not an actor. I'm not a lawyer. And I know that stuff is tough. Hey, listen, I hear from some of you plenty of times. You think this is easy. You think getting behind a mic and talking for 2, 3, 4 straight hours is easy. And that coming up with subjects and things to talk about and make people think that it's an easy thing. I hear that all the time. And I laugh. What about Morgan Freeman? Morgan Freeman is amazing. I mean, there's a lot of great actors, man. Morgan Freeman is definitely a fantastic actor. Hard to argue with Morgan Freeman. Robert Downey Jr. Are you kidding me? Robert Downey Jr. is fantastic. He's awesome. Another great actor. There's a lot of great ones. It's very subjective. It's very hard to say this person, this man, this woman are the greatest actors in the world. It's just impossible to say that. There are so many. SETI Alpha V says, Diane is my wife. She is definitely a lady and has great taste in music, football, and men. Well, then, way to go, Diane. Diane says, you don't remember me? Dude, I'm the swimmer who survived multiple rip currents. I don't know that either, Diane. I'm not exactly sure. I'm sorry. I don't remember. Is that like something I'm supposed to know? Was I at the beach or something when you were surviving multiple rip currents? I don't know what that is. And she did put I'm a lady. All right. Well, way to go. All I know is you're one of our metal babes. That's it. That's all I know. You love metal, you're in. You're definitely full-time family here on our show. Any lady that loves metal, that's it. She's got it. She's got an in on our show forever. That's it. She gets carte blanche on this show. Big Oda about DiCaprio. Yes. Oh man, Leo is awesome. Again, you want to tell me Leo is the best actor you've seen? No, talk about a guy again. I love actors that are pushing themselves and going in all kinds of directions. Leonardo DiCaprio does that. Has done that. No problem with that one. Again, it's subjective, man. There's no way anybody can say one actor is better, obviously, than the other. The people we're talking about, they all deserve that. Every one of them deserves being named the best actor ever. Okay? What are you going to do? Harrison Ford. That's fantastic. I love Harrison Ford. Definitely. Get off my plane. Revo 13 says Leo on Mount Rushmore of actors. I'm not going to argue it. I'm not going to argue at all. Now, I will argue if you tell me Wesley Snipes, Steven Seagal, okay? Which, by the way, I love both of their movies. Handsome Rob, what's his name? What's Handsome Rob's name now? Come on, help me out. All those guys. I love their movies. Their action movies. Love them. I watch them all. Although obviously now Seagal and Snipes have lost, their movies now they're like C movies now. But their early flicks, I can watch them in what's that called? In a loop. I love their movies. They're entertaining as hell. Let me see. Where is it? Come on, somebody give me the damn name. What's Handsome Rob's name? Jean-Claude Van Damme is another one. You guys aren't you guys don't know all the what's that movie with the little cars and they're stealing the gold and all that? Come on, man. Help me out with Handsome Rob's name. Nobody's come up with it. This is crazy. Not Woody Harrelson. Although Woody is an underrated actor, actually. He's done a really good job overall. Jason Statham. Thank you, Dougie Fresh. Thank you. Like Jason Statham and Steven Seagal and Wesley Snipes will never be considered greatest actors of all time, but I love watching their movies. I have no problem with a little getaway, explosions, kick some people's asses, move on, you save the girl, whatever. You took out the mob. I can go with that. I like those. Vin Diesel. The Rock. Love The Rock. But, although lately his movies have been a little too extreme. That one where, what was it, the earthquake or whatever, everything's going, I mean, it was just, wow. That was one whopper after another, dude. Lena Pudi, maybe best performance ever was Paul Newman in Cool Hand Luke. But all in all, wasn't a great actor, but loved the guy. Paul Newman was a good actor. He did a good job. I like Paul Newman. Now, you're right. I would actually I think James Caan is a better actor than Paul Newman. If you want me to go kind of in the same genre, same type of dude and all that, I would probably take James Caan over Paul Newman. And both really likable guys and all that. But again, I'm not really putting them in the pinnacle of acting, put it that way. But good actors. I like those guys a lot. Marlon Brando, obviously. Bruce Willis, yes. Bruce Willis is like those guys. Yes, exactly. You get entertained by Bruce Willis's movies. Again, not a great actor or whatever. Although I will tell you this, Moonlighting will always have a soft spot in my heart. Those of you that are a little too young, you didn't get to see the incredibly lovely Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis, and there was some other actors in there too, do Moonlighting. I love that. That show was awesome. The chemistry between those two, and obviously she was as gorgeous as it gets. And I'm a huge fan. I love the executive woman look. I'm a huge fan of the executive woman look. Even though she's all covered up and all that, I find it to be incredibly sexy. Like the early days of Mrs. Huxtable on the Cosbys, and obviously Sybil Shepherd, the girl in Goody Two Shoes from Adam Ant. Let me see. I'm trying to think of the executive woman look, the women that I really like that looked smoke shows for me in that executive look. Those are a couple that I can think of. There's a couple more that I'm forgetting right now, but I was always kind of a fan of that. Sean Connery's a hell of an actor, dude. Hell of an actor. I got no problem with that. Jack Nicholson, obviously a beast. Fidel Castro, great actor, bro. He did a great job acting as a dictator. Yes, I'm with you, sir. Fidel Castro is as solid as it gets in acting. But he only played one role. That's the problem. That's the only problem, sir. So I don't know if Fidel will ever earn any kind of awards out there for playing only one role. I told you, my favorite actors are the ones that push the envelope in all kinds of directions. That's my problem with Fidel, sir. He just did one role, and that's not good enough, sir. You gotta push. You got to push the extremes. You got to do other roles, you know? Tom Cruise looks the stunt he has just made in his Mission Impossible at 50 plus. I love Tom Cruise's movies. I'm not going to call him the greatest actor in the world or anything like that, but I do enjoy Tom Cruise's movies. I'm going to say, I will admit, because I know Tom Cruise is kind of a weirdo and some people don't like him and all that. I don't care about that. I don't care about any of his Scientology crap or any of that. I like his movies. Now, I'll tell you this. Keanu Reeves is also another one of those guys. Again, I'm not going to put him in the greatest actor role, but he does a good job. But I enjoy his movies too. Those John Wick movies I love. And I love the what's the one that Cruise has now? Jack something, or the hell is the name of that movie? He's done 2 of them. I like those movies. Those are fun. Those are fun. Somebody put Clunt. I think you mean Clint. But yes, Jack Reacher. That's it. Jack Reacher. I enjoy those. Dolphin Dan's going to Diane Mayer. Do you like Rush as well as Maiden? If so, you are a unicorn. So, hey, you know what? Let's have some fun with Karen. Karen, give us your 5 favorite heavy metal bands. Because if she likes Maiden, she likes metal. And she clearly has incredible taste in music, because anybody that loves Iron Maiden has incredible taste in music. Get the new album, too. I want to know, Diane, what are your 5 favorite heavy metal bands? Rush is not heavy metal. So, heavy metal, give me 5. I want to see what Diane likes. That's pretty cool. Vlad Ostrov says Zeppelin. Love Zeppelin, not metal. Hard rock, classic rock, not metal. But I love Zeppelin. Maybe the greatest band of all time. Big O, what exchange could I use to buy crypto? Sir, you can go to crypto.com. You know what I'm going to do, sir? I'm going to post now on my Twitter page. I will post for you. If you want, you can get a crypto card. You can, let me see here. Where do I do it? Here we go. I'm going to post it so you can get $25 of free coin. And if you sign up to crypto.com, you get 25, I get 25. Okay? So there you go. I'm going to put it right now. So go to my Twitter page. And that way, hey, we both get something out of it, right? $25, there's nothing wrong with it. Their credit card is absolutely awesome. The Visa, you have you pay no service charges, no nothing, and it has a whole bunch of benefits too. Plus, you can get Crow and Stake It, which Crow has now gone up to 18 cents, almost 19 cents. It is moving, baby. It's moved up quite a bit in the last couple of weeks here. So I'm going to put that up right now for you, sir. And you can go to my Twitter page and find it. And there you go. I put the link up on my Twitter page. Boom. Crypto.com. I like it. I enjoy it. Again, not a financial advisor. You guys do what you want. Buy whatever you want. Let's see. Socialism, communism is not a joke. It destroys countries. Sir, we weren't making fun of all of that, sir. So relax. You know, if you're a tight ass, don't listen to this show. You got that, Tom? Tom, don't be available for this show if you're a tight ass. If you have no sense of humor and you can't have a little fun with anything, what do you want me to do, bro? You know what I'm saying? Love me some Dokken. They're touring. Now, Don is not the same as he used to be, but Lynch is with them, and he is still shredding. It's difficult to say an award-winning actor is underrated. Okay. Big O, do you think Eguavoen can have a breakout season and get a big role this year? He looked promising. Gregory, it's his third year now with the team. He's been, he was at the CFL. You know what we can't say? Here's what we can't say about Sam Eguavoen. We can't say that it's not going to happen because the guy has proven that he is willing to work through all the adversity. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give him some credit here on all of this. Sam Eguavoen, he could be primed for a hell of a season. Or he could be a guy that's developed into being a rotational linebacker, a backup guy, a fill-in guy. Either way, I think he has worked his way to helping this team out one way or another, whether he's a starter, an impactful starter, or an impactful backup. But I think he's kind of developed to get to that point now. Whether he becomes the fill-in guy or the starter, that's the one I don't know, my man. None of us really know. But I do like this. He has shown a versatility, to his game. That's where I got to give him some credit. By the way, let's do this. Let me get a quick break here. I got a couple things more I want to talk to you guys about. But let me take a 2-minute break here because I'm kind of thirsty. And, let me drink some water here, folks, okay? Give me a couple minutes. Hour number 4 is next. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing a personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Of the program, we thank all of you out there for hanging in there with us, man. A big time thank you on Labor Day. We are laboring on Labor Day. That's what we're doing, dude. This is our 4th hour. 4th hour. Are you crazy? And by the way, we thank our great people at American Dream Lending. Make sure you call Eves and the great people out there, Anthony, 786-930-4818, folks. If you're looking for a mortgage company and one you can count on, one you can trust, call Eves and Anthony now. Tell them that Big O sent you. Trust me, they will take care of you. The best rates out there, great service, amazing people. They can even help you if you're not even in South Florida. So those of you that are outside of the South Florida area, you can also call the great people there at American Dream Lending, 786-930-4818. Call American Dream Lending. We thank our fantastic sponsors every single day. And speaking of our sponsors, Sports Grill, 7 awesome locations. An 8th location is coming down at the Doral City Center. Well, guess what? We are going to be in Miami Lakes this week. We'll be there 2 hours before game time. We will have your pre- and post-game show. So come on out to Sports Grill in Miami Lakes, right off of 154th in the Palmetto. It's on the west side. I'll be out there with Sean. We'll be rocking and rolling, folks. You can watch the game with us. Check out the pregame show, postgame show. We'll have an open mic for you to walk up and ask any questions if you want to ask any questions. Pregame, postgame, all of that. We will have our insiders also contributing, guys like Alan Poupart, Joe Shad, and Omar Kelly. Any other show's going to have 3 insiders, home and away? No, I don't think so. So please tune in. Every game, tune in right here. You can watch it on the YouTube channel, all that good stuff. We will be out there. So please, if you're in the South Florida area, come on out to Sports Grill in Miami Lakes this Sunday for the game with the Patriots and the Miami Dolphins, as the Fins will kick the Patriots' ass. That's what's going to happen, all right? So get your ass out here to and plus, isn't it going to be awesome? We're all going to be together. We're all going to be watching the Dolphins. We're going to watch Tua ball out. We're going to be high-fiving, having some fun. It's a beautiful thing. Love it. Can't wait. So come on out, man. Join us. This is going to be a great season. Playoffs. We're finally watching a team headed in the right direction. That's the beauty of Sundays now compared to Saturdays. Like Saturdays, I expect it to be a disaster. Saturdays, I have no hope whatsoever for Manny Diaz. I was hoping I would be wrong this past Saturday. Not that they would win, because there was no shot in hell they were going to win, but there was a slight hope for me. I was hoping that they could be competitive, even though I told you they wouldn't, even though I told you they would get their asses kicked. I wanted to be wrong, man. I don't care if the chat board was going to be loaded with a whole bunch of people saying, "Oh, you're an idiot," because I would have been an idiot if they would have done it. Or if you want to call me a hater, which I'm not a hater, but whatever, that's fine. I'd rather be that and have the Canes be good than me be right, sitting here going, "Oh yeah, I told you that they would suck. I told you that they'd get routed. I told you Manny Diaz has no business being on the same field as Nick Saban." But that's what I love about Flo. I don't feel any damn coach is going to be out coaching Flo. What I think will probably happen when he loses is that the other team was better that day. But it wasn't because Flo did this stupid thing or that stupid thing or made that mistake and gave the damn game away. That's not going to be the case. He's going to coach his ass off like his staff will. His players are going to play their asses off. If they lose, it's because, hey, you tip your hat to the other team and you say, all right, you were better that day. That's the difference between Saturdays and Sundays now. There is progress being made on Sundays. There is no progress being made on Saturdays. And no matter what anybody tells you from the University of Miami or their flagship station that has to obviously broadcast on eggshells and can't say anything negative, this is an outright disaster, what's going on with the University of Miami. And it will not change. So don't bother talking about firing Manny Diaz. They'll never fire him. Not this year, at least. I think it'll take next year, another disastrous year. And then Blake James will have no choice. There'll be a year left. Because you're not going to bring back a bad coach on a lame duck's contract. Think about that. And they don't have the kind of money to just swallow the last 2 years of his deal and the assistant coaches. Lashley will probably be gone, but still. And after watching the game on Saturday and that call you made against Alabama with D'Eriq King running up the middle, which I don't know what the hell they saw there. Yeah, Lashley, offensive coordinator, yes. Head coach, no. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe anymore. I'm with Manny Diaz on this one. If and when you do get rid of Manny Diaz in 2022 or 2023, you need to go find an experienced coach that knows how to build programs. And if there isn't one, then it's going to be really tough sledding. That's all I can say. I think Wilkins is the heart and soul of that D. He is the glue that holds the D-line together. You know, Alex, I like what you're saying emotionally. I think Wilkins is that guy. But I got to tell you something. I think the leader of that defense eventually, it's going to be Raekwon Davis. I think Raekwon Davis is going to turn out to be the monster of the Midway. I have just a ton of just positivity and enthusiasm for Raekwon Davis. What I saw last year from that kid showed me that he has the goods, like everybody thought in Alabama. I think they're figuring out a way to leave that button stays on the entire time, and that effort is there all every down, all 4 quarters. I think if Raekwon takes that next step this year, I'm getting kind of goosebumps, by the way. I think Raekwon Davis is going to be the absolute stud that stirs that entire drink. I think Wilkins plays off of him. I think Jalen Phillips plays off of him. I think Emmanuel Ogbah plays off of him. I think linebackers are going to be able to roam freer up the middle and find some gaps because of him. I think the ultimate key to that defensive front seven is Raekwon Davis. I like Wilkins. I think he's developing into a good player, and I think he can be a really good player for a long time to come. I think Raekwon Davis can be a star. I am serious about this. And we'll see how it develops this year, but don't be surprised that Raekwon Davis is the guy that everybody looks at and says, okay, this mother effer is just a beast. And we got to double him. We got to worry about him. And then that's going to free everything else up for everybody else. We'll see. You'll find out if I'm right or wrong on this one. But to me, for this defense to be the dominant force I think it can be, it's that dude. That's the dude right there. That's the dude that, like Jalen Phillips, he has the freakish ability, but I can't put those expectations on Jalen because he's a puppy, dude. He's a rookie. He's got a lot to learn, technique, all that stuff. This guy, you don't teach country strong, dude. You don't teach. He has a Daryl Gardner in him. You can't teach that kind of stuff. These are the kind of guys that move mountains. And if he brings that heart to it every down, Dolphin defense is going to be a force because of that kid. That's just me. UM offensive coordinator sucks. Look at last year's Clemson game. There isn't much variation. Offensive formations. Look at the Alabama game. 4 wide receivers to the left of the formation. Shotgun and running back. Well, I'm just, dude, Caffrey, I'm not arguing with you, bro. I just wanted to plant the seed because I don't want us to fall for the same crap. Oh, that Manny Diaz did a good job with defense. Oh, no, he's got to be because I'm the sucker. I fell for it, man. I fell for the Manny Diaz thing, hook, line, and sinker. I thought for sure, man, I'm one of the idiots too, man. I'm one of the idiots that when Rick was there and Manny's kicking ass, and you're worried about losing Manny to somebody else, you're going, whoa, he's young. You know, Rick is only here for a couple of years. We can't let Manny go. I'm one of those idiots, man. I am one of those. I was drinking the Kool-Aid, bro. Chugging it. Then he goes to Temple, and then Rick leaves, and I'm in panic mode just like a lot of you. Oh, no, you got to go get him. You got to get him. And Blake James did what we all would have done. We screwed up. We fell for it. I know I screwed up, but I'm not going to keep going with the screw up and keep telling you, wait. I would tell you that if I'm watching Flo at college. If I'm watching Manny do what Flo hasn't won anything. Has Flo gone to the playoffs? I'm sorry, I must have missed it. Did he win the division? Damn, I must have missed it. Did he go to the Super Bowl? Damn, I must. But why do I feel great about the guy? Because I'm watching from the beginning of a game to the end, from the beginning of the season to the end, and all I'm watching is improvement. I can't say that with this guy. And so 3 years in, I got fooled, dude. I got fooled. A lot of us got fooled. And we have to just admit we got fooled. It's sports, man. We're not going to get everything right. We're going to get a lot of things wrong. We're going to guess it. Like the guy that was asking me, do you think Eguavon's going to have a breakout year? I don't know. But I like him to be at least a solid player for this team. Now, is he ready to be a great backup or is he ready to be a starter? I don't know. That's the unknown. But I thought for sure Manny was the guy. I did. I'll admit it. And after the first year, I was like, whoa, I was wrong. Wow, I was wrong. And then the second year was like, oh, man, this is embarrassing. And then this year is just, it's just going to verify what we already know. That's the sad part. That's the part that sucks. Big O, thank you for entertaining. It's even better on holidays. I've been a fan since I saw you on your first Doggy Do Right appearance. Oh, okay. From Cali. I have not been exposed to your show before. Well, thank you, Jamie. Appreciate you. Dougie, we have a good time, man. Hey, by the way, did Karen answer the question? Where are we at? Let's see. Where's Karen at? Did Karen answer the question? Did you guys see the question answered by Karen? Because I did not see it. Did she give us her top 5 bands? Where is it? Man, I missed it. Oh, I'm sorry, Diane, not Karen. Diane. Diane, did you give us your top 5? Where is it? I'm looking for it. Diane, I don't see your top 5. Let's see. No, I don't see it. She didn't give us her top 5 metal bands? Come on, Diane. I was looking forward to it. That would have been I'm up in Gainesville. We'll have to make a trip down south to see you. Yes, you do. Definitely. And bring an Iron Maiden shirt. Where is it? I don't see it. I see a couple of texts of yours. Speed metal is awesome too. Love me some metal and some Dolphins football. Mall woman, baby. Okay, Diane. I got you. You're all woman. You're all metal. You're all woman, all metal, all married. Now we need your top 5 metal bands. We need Diane's top 5 metal bands. Gotta have it. The show is not complete. I can't leave without knowing Diane's top 5 metal bands. Okay? So there we go. Yep, I went through it, Diane. Nothing. I need your top 5 metal bands. What else do we have to talk about here on the show? I do need some water. Talking a lot. Stained is awesome. Okay. I like Stained. Woo! Yeah, that hurts. All right. I will say this. Me asking for a referral code. I don't know. I don't know if it comes with a referral code. No, it's a referral link. I don't know about referral code. I have no idea what that is. Somebody's using the link, I guess. All right. Well, somebody's using the link on the crypto, but I don't know about a referral code. I apologize. Okay. The 25 I got 2 months ago is now worth 45 and growing. Wish I had your referral code back then. That's what Rob says. Hey, I'm just glad that what you invested is growing, man. Come on. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. Not that I am a what's it called, financial advisor, but we told you about Polygon and it's exploded. We told you about Ethereum and it's exploded. We told you about Cardano, and it's exploded. We told you about VeChain, and it's going up big time. We told you about Crow, and it's going up. What other ones did we talk about? Chili's, it's almost doubled. What else have we told you? I mean, we told you about several coins already and to invest in. We haven't failed you on one of them yet. You know that? Not one. Stellar has been a little weak. It's now starting to climb a little bit, but not enough for me. It's got to climb a little more, but it's still, if you took advantage of it, like I told you in the dip, you're making money. Not as much as some of the other ones, but what can I tell you? And again, if you buy Polygon on crypto.com, stake it, you get 10%. So think about it. Polygon, example. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. So for those of you that like to play or invest in the crypto market, so think about this. If you stake Polygon and they're going to give you 10% on your Polygon, I want you to study this really well, okay? In the last month, Polygon is up 53%. See it up there in the green right under? 53%. I don't know. Well, you can't tell. Well, anyways, 53%. Last week, it's up 17%. So, if it goes up in a year 70% and you're getting 10, that's 80. If it goes up 20% in a year and you're getting staking 10%, that's 30%. So you're already making 10% right from the get-go when you actually stash Polygon. So stake it, man. Staking is a great way of creating passive income. While you're sitting there, your coins are hopefully gaining in value, and they're also working for you, and you're getting interest on it. 10% interest? Where are you going to get 10% interest on your money? Where? Nowhere. So that's why you want to. Polygon is a great company, a great coin. Not a financial advisor, but I believe in it. And look, it's like at $1.70 right now, right? And I got some of it at 68 cents, some of it at 75. And look where it's at now. Where are we at here? There we go, Polygon. I'm sorry. I think I had the wrong one. To 164. Look at that. And the last month, it's up 53%. That's awesome. 53% rise. Plus, you're getting 10% in the staking. Are you kidding me? You better get on that bandwagon. That's the way to go, baby. Vlad Ostrov says, hate the Patriots more than any team in sports. Let's see. Anybody want to join a fantasy team on ESPN? Josh is asking. Big O, who in the press, insider, podcaster, YouTuber, etc., do you think provides the best Dolphins coverage and insight other than yourself? Well, Joe Shad does a great job. Alan Poupart does an excellent job. And Omar Kelly does an excellent job. That's why those three guys are on this show. So they do a great job. Now, but you know what? Hey, man, I think Barry Jackson does an excellent job. When it comes to talking about radio, he doesn't really have all the facts and, whatever. It's probably off on a lot of things radio-wise, but, he doesn't really have all the insight on what really has happened at times. I think he's kind of gotten a little bit more of the knowledge now after the fact. But when it comes to sports, he does an excellent job, and he does a great job of covering the Dolphins. I think Salguero does a terrific job also. I'm not going to diss those guys. They do a great job, man. There's a bunch of guys on the beat that now. Is everybody going to get something right of their predictions or a player they think is good or not or what? No, of course not. It's sports, man. They're going to get some of it right. They're going to get some of it wrong. None of us get it all right, man. None of us. So there's several guys that do a good job. XRP's up 86%, Big O. XRP's good, brother. I just don't want to take any chances on XRP because of the lawsuit. That's the only reason. And it should explode, especially once the lawsuit is done. But I am not investing in anything that has a lawsuit going on with the SEC. I just don't know what's going to happen. I wish you the best. I have several friends that are involved in XRP, and it should do well. But, crypto is stressful enough as it is. I don't want to add that to the mix. Okay? Ethereum by Christmas hopefully is flying. Well, Ethereum's already flying high, my brother. It's at $4,000. It was several months ago, it was at $1,500. A year and a half ago, it was at $300. It's at $4,000 now. So let's be realistic. It's already flying high, as Ozzy Osbourne would say. Let's again, it's not about the micro, it's about the macro. And you got to look at the big picture. If you just are looking at it day by day or week by week, you don't get the whole story of everything. So, it's Ethereum's up at closer to $4,000 when it was at $300, 18 months ago. So, and it was $1,500, $1,600, 5-6 months ago. It's doing very well. Metal top 5 hath been given, sir. Aha, let's see where you at. Here we go. Alice in Chains, Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden, Motley Crue, and Pantera. Wow. That's strong. Strong, Diane. Now, were you listening to me back in the day when I was having fun with Alice in Chains, Man in the Box, and Ryan Tannehill? Just wondering. Big O, when are you going to do NFL Pick'em games for the week? I normally don't do that, dude. I don't do NFL Pick'em games, but I can do some on Friday. I'll wait till I have at least all the COVID information. And then, but I wouldn't do that now without all the information of injuries and COVID. And because unfortunately, COVID is going to be a big part of what we do again for the next couple of years. That's what's going to end up happening. Nice top 5, Diane. Nice one. Really good. I like it. I like it. Diaz isn't going to beat ranked teams. We know that, sir. Well, some of us know that. Apparently, there were some people that actually thought they could win this week. Oh, Lordy. Did you read somebody that actually said they could win? Is that what it was? Because I saw some stuff on Twitter. I don't know if any of the guys on radio were saying it, but I will say this. I saw some stuff on Twitter, and I was like, wow, these people are going to be disappointed badly. I hope I'm wrong, but they're going to be disappointed. On TV, I don't think I saw anybody pick University of Miami. I think everybody picked Alabama. I didn't check. I didn't check in the newspapers what were the picks this week for did anybody pick the University of Miami on newspaper? I don't know. There's no way Manny did. I know that because I talk to him every week. There's no way in hell Manny was picking the University of Miami to beat Alabama. But I don't know if anybody else did. But if they did, I mean, wow. It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad. Inside Appetite for Destruction cassette cover was the first time I saw Fun Bags. Damn. You were young. Yes, a blind-ass fanler. Yeah, if you ran into somebody that wrote about Miami winning, that's kind of crazy. Yes, I'm with you there. But I saw some of it on Twitter, and I was like, wow. I had a couple guys DM me on Twitter, like, you're being too rough on the Canes. They've got 19 of 22 starters. Manny has matured as a head coach. This, that. I was hearing all this stuff, and I was like, all right, man. Call me on Monday and call me an idiot on Saturday night or Monday if you want. I'll deserve it if that happens. And sure enough, I haven't heard from those guys, and I won't. And I'm not even going to bother to get into their DM since they sent me one and say, yo, what happened? Whatever, bro. Knock yourself out. You're probably pissed off as it is. Mike Bianchi. picked the Canes? Mike Bianchi picked the Canes? Really? Wow. Damn, I would figure Bianchi would know better than that. Alex says, I was with you all. I would have hoped they kept it close. That's what I was hoping for. I would have been a really happy guy today. If they would have kept it like 10, 15 points, I would have been, I know some fans would have been, hey, oh, they lost. And we're going, hey, man, they're not that good. And neither is that coach. For them to actually keep it within 10 or 15, I would have been impressed. They would have deserved some credit because they're not that good. And sure enough, they proved it. I do love the storyline of Flo versus Belichick on Sunday. That I love because Flo's already had some success against him. So, Belichick is not looking at Flo like, okay, this is a guy that I can outwit and I can outcoach anytime. And I'm sure he felt that with a lot of Dolphin coaches. I think there was some of that. I hate to say this, but on Saturday night, I think there was a level of they knew that they had this game in the bag from the get-go. They knew that all they had to do was play decent football and that Miami was not going to be able to hang with them. There was that confidence, right? I don't believe Belichick comes in with that same kind of confidence against Flo. I think Flo taught him a lesson in year one when he went to Foxborough and beat him and forced him to go to the wild card game, and that was the end of the dynasty. Flo ended their dynasty. And he knows that. And Flo has the kind of team now and the interchangeable pieces that I think can create an advantage for Miami now. If he beat Belichick without experience and without talent in year one in a really important game, I think he can beat him on Sunday. I really do. And that's one of the things that Miami, when you had Joe Philbin going into a matchup against, it's the same thing as watching Manny go up against Nick Saban. It's the same exact thing. You watch Joe Philbin against Belichick, and you know it's a mismatch. You watch Cam Cameron against Bill Belichick, and you know it's a mismatch. You watch Tony Sperano against Bill Belichick, and you know it's a mismatch. You watch Adam Gase against Bill Belichick, and you know it's a mismatch. This is the one guy that I truly feel is going to give Miami the opportunity, and this is the one guy I feel has earned the respect of everybody over there because he was there, because they know him already. And I think Belichick did a really good job over the years of hiding his ass from people because he wasn't the coordinators ever until towards the end, finally. But everybody took Charlie Weiss and everybody, took Patricia and they took Daniels and they never took Flo. Let's leave out the fact that he's the minority of the group, but whatever. And I feel now like this is the guy that will have his team prepared for every little moment that goes on in the game. That this is why they're also one of the least penalized teams in the NFL. That's another reason. When I look at Manny Diaz and Saturday, you watch Bubba Bolden commit an incredibly stupid play because he went out of his way to hammer the guy with his head down on the ground. Think about that. Think about how stupid that play was, because if you're Bubba Bolden and you're coming straight at a guy up in the air, 3 feet above, 4 feet above, and you're coming in and you're going to hit him, and he lowers, and then there's contact, that's not his fault. That happens to defensive players all the time. It's a shame. Correct? This guy was down on the ground. My man went downward to helmet him, to spear him. He went out of his way to spear him. Those are the things that don't happen with Flo's teams. And Amari Carter kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. Let me ask you something. Do you think Flo allows Amari Carter to commit that many stupid mistakes? But that coach does. And that's the problem with that coach, is that team is not smart enough. And that's part of the game, intelligence. You've got to use your head to think, not to tackle. And with Flo, that's what I love. They're one of the least penalized teams the last 2 years in the NFL. And they'll be that again this year because the man demands you to use your mind as much as your muscles. Guess who used to do that? For you young people out there that don't know what the hell I'm talking about, his name is Don Shula. And as Dolphin fans in those days, not the Jimmy Johnson days, not the Dave Wannstedt days, not any of these other guys that came after. Miami committed all kinds of penalties with all those guys. Jimmy too, undisciplined. But with Shula, and any old fan out there will tell you, and for you youngins, go talk to your older brother, your uncle, your father, your grandfather, and they'll tell you. You knew at the beginning of every game, your team was the smarter team on the field because of the chin on the sideline named Don Shula. And that's what I love about this guy here, Flo. That I feel like Miami has the better coach on the field week in and week out, the more disciplined team on the field week in and week out, the team that's going to avoid the most mistakes possible to give themselves a chance to win. That's what I see in Flo. That's the difference, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I'm so confident about the Dolphin team this season. Why I'm confident they're going to win on Sunday. Why I'm confident that on the postgame show on Sunday, live from Sports Grill Miami Lakes, we're going to be talking and we're going to be having a lot of fun, and we're going to hear the press conference and we're going to hear from the players, and we'll take your questions and comments and your live questions over there on the show. And we're going to feel good about the Dolphins 1-0 and then headed to take on Buffalo. Flo. Because of Flo, you got a shot, which is pretty awesome. All right, we are going to wrap it up here on the show. Appreciate all of you out there. Thank you. We went 3 hours and almost 50 minutes today. Thank you out there. King Zulu, Melvin, Hawaiian Punch, Vlad Ostrov. Thank you all out there. Remember, you can also make a donation through Cash App or Venmo. We get the entire donation on Cash App and Venmo. Cash Big O Show. Appreciate all of you out there. Of course, also don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Very important you smash the like button. We want to let's get to 300. We're already at 231. Let's get to 300 if we can. We got 9 dislikes. That is awesome. I love some dislikes. Way to go. Dislike. Well, we love all the people that disliked us, no matter what. There you go. Okay. That's how we roll, as they say. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. I love you all.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.